If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. Big poll question today. What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? I just kind of want to leave that hang there and completely switch gears. He killed himself. He was murdered, or he's alive. The Annie Fry YouTube channel. You can go vote in the poll right there. But I have to go to the president right now because he's walking to Marine One outside of the White House. And we were listening into a little bit of this just before the show started. And there are some interesting statements that the president has just made. Let's listen to him talk about or answer questions from the press.
That they're planning to steal the 2026 midterm elections. In fact, he says the plan is already underway. How do you respond to Governor Pritzker?
Well, he's got to focus on crime in his state. The crime in his state is doing very badly. If we went and took care of it, we would do just like Washington, D.C. We have no crime. Memphis, it's down 82%. Louisiana, you take a look at Louisiana. What he should really do is focus on crime in his state because there's too much of it.
Have you made a final decision of Iran? Have you made a final decision of Iran? Have you made a final decision?
No, I haven't.
Do you believe that Iran is going to use nuclear weapons?
If negotiation breaks down with Iran.
Well, we haven't made a final decision. We're not exactly happy with the way they're negotiating. They cannot have nuclear weapons, and we're not thrilled with the way they're negotiating. So we'll see how it all works. The Cuban government is talking with us. They're in a big deal of trouble, as you know. They have no money. They have no anything right now. But they're talking with us. And maybe we'll have a friendly takeover of Cuba. We could very well end up having a friendly takeover of Cuba.
So there you have President Trump from the White House lawn saying we could have a very friendly takeover of Cuba. So I plan the show out. I do everything I can, folks, for you. I spend hours preparing a lovely show for you, and then the president says, literally 2 minutes before we go live on the show, we could have a very friendly takeover of Cuba. I don't have a response for that other than I wanted to make sure you heard it from the president himself. Now, I know that Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, has been working in meetings with Cuba. Of course, he understands exactly the heritage of Cuba. His parents are from Cuba and fled to, I think, Miami, to southern Florida. And I remember distinctly in his campaign to be the president of the United States in that initial primary that involved Donald Trump, he talked an awful lot about the American dream. He talked an awful lot about the distinction between, communist-ridden Cuba and how people are fleeing willing to paddle in a boat from Cuba to try to see the shores of Florida just for the chance to taste freedom, what they're willing to risk to flee a place like Cuba. That was kind of a predicate for his entire story of how he became in a position to be a United States senator from Florida running for president. Now, we all know how that went, and now he is maybe the biggest utility man in the administration, of course, being Secretary of State, among other things. He's in charge of the National Archives, too. I think that might be my favorite.
Oh, I forget about that one.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't.
Well, he won't because it's the National Archives.
Yeah. So whatever that means, we will see if there's any reaction to that, if there's any follow-up story. If he made a few more comments there while he's standing basically under the chopper, the Marine One blades that are whooshing around, making it almost impossible to hear. There's a lot of good stuff that was said there. Good stuff. A lot of interesting, compelling stuff, but it's hard to listen to. So we'll put that video up and share that with you on our socials a bit later. The YouTube poll, though, however, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself. He was murdered. He's alive. You've got another deposition happening today in Chappaqua. You have Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, Bill Clinton, being deposed. Another one of the things that President Trump was just asked there on the White House lawn was how he felt about Bill Clinton being deposed today. And he said, I like him. He was referring to Bill Clinton. He's like, I like him. I don't really like to see him being deposed. I don't like it. He was pretty soft on it. He didn't use it as an opportunity to slam the Clintons. He didn't use it as an opportunity to try to connect some dots that haven't been connected yet or to lob some insults the Clintons' way. He basically said he likes Bill Clinton and he doesn't like to see him going through this deposition. And then he moved on. And then someone asked him another question about the Epstein files, and he said, I don't know anything about them, but I've been completely exonerated. So he knows what he needs to know, right? I guess that's what his lawyers have told him. Yesterday's deposition of Hillary Clinton involved a privacy part of the NDA, the agreement to get Hillary Clinton to agree to sit down and have this deposition was that it wasn't they're going to release tapes, videotapes. We're going to be able to see the videotapes. I think that it's possible we get some of those today. And transcripts, but that what was taking place inside wasn't supposed to be released, I guess, until the end of it. There might be a situation where they have the tapes and they have to be viewed by both parties before they're released so that everybody agrees or something, that they haven't been altered or edited in a way that is dishonest. But was it Anna Paulina Luna that released the picture?
I think it was Boebert.
Oh, no, it was Boebert.
It was Boebert.
Yes, that's right. Lauren Boebert, Representative Boebert, in part of this oversight, is she in there? Like, I didn't even think she was in there. Nancy Mason,
so.
Paulina Luna are in there. Anna Paulina Luna. But it's just an image of Hillary Clinton sitting behind what looks like a skirted long table. It looks like your standard buffet, like if you're going to an event and you're sitting there at a head table or whatever. Skirted, covered, couple drinks, lawyers sitting next to her, and she's sitting there and she's answering questions. But that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know how or why Lauren Boebert does this. I think it's stupid of her to do it. I think the Republicans would be served in their absolute best interest to play this as straight and narrow and by the book as you possibly can. Now, I'm not somebody who looks at Lauren Boebert to be that person. That's one of the reasons why was she doing this for her? Was she doing this? Was there a benefit to doing this? I haven't seen anybody who has articulated why that picture was shared or the excuse for it. I just don't think that it was necessary. If we're going to get all the content from this deposition, why would we go through the process of scooping something like that? It just seems a little self-serving. Here's another thing that I'm going to say. Well, first, I don't know which order I want to do this in. I'm going to say this first because the only reason I wouldn't is because I don't want to be this nice. I thought Hillary Clinton was beautiful yesterday. I thought she looked great.
That's very nice of you.
I have said consistently, you could go back, I bet you, in my first handful of Saturday shows, when Hillary Clinton was running for office, I was telling people, stop talking about her pantsuits. Talk about her policies. It's, to me, so degrading for the person who's taking the time. Now, if you're just like in conversation and you're talking to whatever, and you're making fun of the way she looks, I mean, that's a choice, whatever. But for people who are in my position, who at that point in time, those people are, you're being somewhat of a thought leader or provocative, whatever it might be. You're in a position to influence people on how they think about an election, who they might vote for, why they might vote for them. You're in that position and you're going to waste time talking about the way she looks. Everybody can see for themselves how she looks and make their own judgments. You don't need any help on that. Her policies are terrible for the country. There are so many questionable things about her character that should be discussed in that moment instead of how she looks. And I don't think she's ever been somebody who's been discussed ever in a positive way on the whole about how she looks. But I actually thought when she came up and she spoke at the podium to the press conference for a minute, yesterday. I thought she looked really pretty. And I have just lost all my listeners. But I'm going to say it because I thought it. And the only reason to not say it is because I don't agree with her politically. And I think that's a stupid reason not to say something. So I'm saying it. But give her a look. We'll share a picture of her, a video of that later. But give her a look and tell me if you agree with me, even the slightest. I said I wanted to do this in a particular order. I wasn't sure which one. But now let's just look at a little montage from Norm Macdonald.
Is the First Lady a compulsive liar, though? It's beginning to look that way. In an interview on last night's 2020, intended to promote her new book, It Takes a Village, Mrs. Clinton folded under tough questioning by Barbara Walters and admitted that, in fact, it does not take a village. And furthermore, that she was aware that it does not take a village when she wrote the damn book. Meanwhile, President Clinton is hard at work on Tuesday's State of the Union address, in which he'll focus on crime, education, and the economy. At the request of the First Lady, part of the president's speech will be huge lies. More questions about Hillary Rodham Clinton's truthfulness. In an interview this week, the First Lady claimed that she won the women's 100-meter dash at the 1956 Olympics, and that she had an IQ of, quote, over 700. When it was pointed out to her that these were not especially good lies, Mrs. Clinton responded, "I know, I have a problem," and then added, "I invented the formula for 7-Up." In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. For years, Hillary Rodham Clinton has told people that she was named for the first man to climb Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But as Esquire magazine recently pointed out, Sir Edmund did not climb Mount Everest until 1953, 6 years after Hillary was born. However, the First Lady does have a good explanation for the discrepancy. She loves to lie. A former Arkansas banker told the Senate Whitewater Committee this week that he gave Bill Clinton a $20,000 loan as a favor, even though it was, quote, unacceptable banking practice. In response, President Clinton stated that he has no recollection of such a loan, while First Lady Hillary Clinton said, "We've never even been to Arkansas."
Oh, man. Norm Macdonald, weekend update. I almost said the original weekend update, which is completely not accurate. It was Chevy Chase. Was he the original one?
Yeah. Well, he was one of the originals.
But was he even an actual cast member?
Yeah, he was.
He was
for 1 year.
For 1 year he was?
Yep.
Oh, well,
Bill Murray took his spot in the second year.
I came across that, and the way we can consume Norm Macdonald in 2026, we knew he was funny then. You can. When I think of Weekend Update, I probably think of Norm Macdonald first every single time. But it's really funny to know that he had some kind of common sense conservative, probably more libertarian, especially as far as Hollywood goes. But some of the clips that he has from sitting on the couch about the Clintons with The View or whatever it is. I mean, this guy, everybody kind of thought he was crazy. And now we're like, ooh, let's go back to the Norm Macdonald files and see what this guy knew and when he knew it.
By the way, she did lie about being named after Sir Edmund
Yes,
Hillary.
that's a real story.
That's real.
Yes, which Norm Macdonald is saying she's a liar. The joke is not... He's just the one that was willing to say it.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff about inventing 7-Up and stuff, I think that was embellishment. But that one's true.
Yeah. You dabble them in there, and then you're like, is that really what? Yeah. All right. When we come back, let's talk to Mark Sutherland. He's a co-owner and CEO of Stone Ledge Spirits Company, but he's also going to talk to us about the Air Show, which is coming back to St. Louis this summer, to Chesterfield, and I'm going to be there. I cannot wait to go see these planes, this machinery in action once again. We'll get the lowdown of everything that's coming back to Chesterfield this summer, and guess what? Tickets are available. Mark Sutherland, next. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com. Matt Hayes is waiting for your phone call. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Reach out to Matt Hayes. I know that we're supposed to get some weather, maybe some winter weather over this weekend. But if you get that pit in your stomach when the rain is coming in, now you know the rainy season is headed our way and rapidly. You got to get that basement fixed. You got to stop having to worry about it. But you know you want to make an investment with somebody who you can rely on, someone you can trust. May I introduce you to Matt Hayes and his amazing team, a reliable team. They're actually a pretty tight team, a great group of people that understand how to do the work to get it done, and they back that basement waterproofing up with a lifetime warranty. If you're interested in having him come look at your basement so he can tell you what he can do for you and the whole 9 yards, reach out to Matt Hayes at 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Give him a call. Tell him Andy Fry sent you. You can find everything you need to know online at HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you're truly prepared? Sue Thomas here. And when it comes to retirement planning, keep in mind Financial and Tax Architects, FTA, has helped families all across St. Louis plan to retire with clarity and confidence. FTA specializes in creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, showing you how and when to claim Social Security, and building an income plan designed to last as long as you do. Now, they have a Retirement Planning 101 class. It is eye-opening. It's 2.5 hours. It's offered on campuses of colleges throughout the area. No cost or obligation, but you're going to learn how to avoid costly mistakes, reduce unnecessary taxes, and make your money work smarter in retirement. Call 314-888-5101 or visit fta-ria.com to reserve your seat today. Space fills quickly, so don't wait. Take that first step toward a more confident retirement.
There's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me.
That was Pritzker's challenge to President Trump. But who are Pritzker's people? They're the more than 1,700 illegal alien predators he helped escape from ICE. They're the illegal aliens whose health care, rent, and college tuition you pay for. You can't afford to stay because Pritzker makes you pay for his people. Well, I have a message for you, Governor. I'll be coming for you and going through you. Your days and the days of sanctuary living for your people are over. I'm Ted Dabrowski, your conservative candidate for governor, and I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on March 17th. Paid for by Ted for Illinois.
Vote for Ted Dabrowski on March 17th.
Andrea, you know what it's time to think about?
Vacation?
No, flooring.
Oh, right. I'm way ahead of you there. We have a huge selection of carpet tile, sheet vinyl, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, laminate, and more, with new inventory arriving every day.
That's right. Come check us out at our 3 locations, Hazelwood, O'Fallon, Illinois, and our newest store in South County on Tesson Ferry between 270 and 141.
Plus free financing for qualified purchasers.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring. Open 7 days a week.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I am so happy to have Mark Sutherland. He's one of the scariest people I've ever seen before because I saw him right before I went to an FA-18 Super Hornet flying with the Blue Angels.
I haven't heard scary before.
No, I mean, that when you gave me the opportunity, Mark, to fly with the Blue Angels, I think you kind of tipped me off to that. It was maybe about this time of year. It's probably like mid-February, but it was not. It was like, would you consider this, Annie?
Correct.
And I was like, no. And then my husband found out. He's like, what? You have to do it. My son found out, and he was like, Mom, you have to do it. So I told you that I would be willing to be considered. And then I hired a trainer, and I was going to the gym like with a trainer twice a week. It was great for my physicality. But the whole time I was doing it, I still had to be accepted or chosen or whatever it was.
Yeah, we get so when the Blues come into for an air show, they do a couple of VIP rides. And we get to nominate those individuals. So there's one group that's community influencers, teachers, coaches, and then there's a second group that is media that loves the Blue Angels and wants to brag about them and talk about them and promote the Blue Angels and everything the U.S. Navy does. And so I get to submit 2 or 3 members of the media, and then the Blues do their analysis.
Yeah.
I don't even know who they're going to pick.
Yeah.
And then they come back, and probably in about 4 weeks from now, they'll come back and let me know who they've selected for the upcoming air show, June 6th and 7th at the Spirit of St. Louis.
So conflicted when we were in that purgatory of time where it was like, I could be doing it. Everyone's like, have you heard yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't. But I was training because you would explain to me, and I'd read about it, like you have to build core.
Yep.
As much core strength. Don't do cardio.
And your doctor has to approve.
Yeah, I had to have a physical. When I went to an urgent care, they're like, oh, we will not be doing this. You need to go see somebody else for this. But it was all in the name of the Spirit of St. Louis Air Show and STEM Expo that took place. That was my experience of flying with the Blue Angels was 2 summers ago, and it's coming back to Chesterfield again, June 6th and 7th. Yes, kids, 6/7, 2026.
Oh, God.
I know. You had to do it, right?
We need to move it.
And I'm excited. We're going to get into the details of what this air show is going to entail, but I want to impress upon you, if you've been to the air show before, or if you didn't go last time and you're like, God, I got to go to that the next time, you have to go. The first air show I ever went to was when I was in. And then flying that F-A-18 Super Hornet, I had never been to an air show. I've seen Blue Angels and stuff. I was at a Notre Dame football game and they flew over one time. That was the closest I'd been to them. And then after I did the flight and I went to the show, I was in jaw-dropping awe of everything that I saw there.
Oh, it's amazing. It is. And that's really why we designed the air show when we first launched the first one in 2014, was we wanted to take that awe, especially for teenagers and kids, and translate that into some incredibly good decisions. So we were the first air show in the country to do a STEM Expo. And so we have this massive STEM Expo. All the air shows are now doing it, which is great. But it takes that moment of wow, like I want to be that. And we tell them on the ground what that can be. Science, technology, engineering, and math, and all the career fields, and get them in the simulators and get them involved so that they walk away from the air show not just having a fantastic experience, but hopefully a life-changing experience.
Kind of a hope and a future. So June 6th and 7th of this year, of course. So before we get into the details, I just want to preface it with tickets are on sale right now, but you just told me before we went on the air that prices go up on Monday?
On Monday. So we do a lot of discounted tickets ahead of time for the people that really love the air show, want to come, want to bring the whole family. But tickets do go up in price on Monday. There's still quite a number left. VIP tickets, I think, are pretty much gone except for Sunday. There's a couple left there. But we do that so that we do the discounts early on so that a whole family could go. And we're now doing 12 and under are free. Started that the last air show. So a whole family could go for under $100.
Yeah.
As you get closer to the air show, that's going to be a lot harder to do.
Will you sell out? Will you sell out?
We sell out every time.
So there is a sense of urgency. Now, we're talking at the end of February about something that's happening at the beginning of June. But if you're somebody who's like, oh, I go to the air show every time, get your tickets right now before the price goes up, because duh. So let's get into the details of this show. First and foremost, my question, Blue Angels, are they going to be there?
And actually, every time we do an air show, it's so long history, but we have the air show because of the Blue Angels. When the St. Louis County used to do an air show back in the early 2000s, and they stopped doing that, and every time the Blue Angels would fly through St. Louis, they would ask one of our guys, hey, you guys used to have an air show. You guys need to do an air show again.
Really?
And they kept doing it long enough to where in 2012, when they came through, they basically said, if you do an air show, we will come, which the Blue Angels don't do that.
Yeah.
And so we decided, a whole group of us, that we're going to do this air show. And in 2014 was the first one. And then anytime they want to come back, which is every 2 to 3 years, we do another air show.
We're going to do another air show.
2026, that's the next visit. So they're the headliner. They're fantastic, flying the made in St. Louis Boeing FA-18 Super Hornets. And Boeing is a huge supporter of our event as well. We're a nonprofit. All of us are volunteers. We rely on ticket sales and donations. And Boeing's a big one for us, so we thank them for that.
So where does the funds go that you raise?
It all goes to put on the next air show. And then we do donations to organizations and such. But yeah, we've got about 1,000 volunteers. I'm one of them. Everybody that you meet at the air show weekend is probably a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few people that we hire some of the experts, like the air boss. Got to pay the air boss. But most of the people on the grounds that you'll interact with are volunteers.
So talk to me about, obviously the Blue Angels will be there, as you just articulated, but what other kinds of things? That I just was so unprepared for, like, the word I used before is awe. I can't think of a better word for it. I was so unprepared for what my eyes took in that day. What else will they see?
So for the first time in 10 years, the Snowbirds, Canadian Snowbirds, are coming back. So that's 11 aircraft that they will perform all this. The Blue Angels are like raw power, inches from each other. The Canadian Snowbirds are finesse and artistry in the air. So it's a different experience, but it is just as cool, just as awesome. We've got the F-22 coming back, the stealth fighter. We're working on some flyovers from some various more stealthy aircraft. We don't know about that till the last minute. Skip Stewart.
That's how I would do it if I were a stealth.
Yes. Yeah, it was like
I wouldn't be like, "Hey, here I come."
Yeah, maybe
like
they'll
months
come.
ahead of time.
Exactly. Skip Stewart.
Yeah.
Fantastic biplane.
Is he the one who cuts the tape?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's the one that flies through the golf course, and we're like, is he coming out? The trees are like way above him when he's flying through there. So yeah, he's fantastic.
Skip Stewart. I'm going to tell you this. I thought, you've got the F-22 flying around in the Blue Angels. I thought, okay, the Skip Stewart thing is going to be hokey. I was cheering loudly by the time the thing was over. I'm like,
he is amazing.
Oh my gosh, this guy's crazy. I mean, they have how high is that tape that they have on the ground that he goes through and flies through and cuts?
Basically eye level.
From a human on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, don't do it. It's not worth it. And then he does it, and it's great. And you're just like,
he's inches off the ground.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. So we've got about a 5-hour air show.
Yeah.
So it was going to be a 4-hour air show. And then we were surprised when the Snowbirds said, hey, we're coming too. So we had all these other acts that we were booking, and we'll be rolling those out over the coming weeks. And then the Snowbirds were like, and we're going to Chesterfield.
Amen.
And we're like, well, that would have been nice to know. So we're excited. It's going to be a 5-hour air show. So it's fun. And the one thing everybody should remember is it's a small regional airport. It's a private airport. It's not designed for 50,000 of your closest friends to all show up at the same time. So on the ground, come early.
Yeah.
Come and enjoy the STEM Expo. Walk around the static ramp. Get in aircraft. Get in the simulator. Find your best seats. The air show will start around 11:30. Gates will open a little bit before 9. So come early. Spend that time. Don't get stuck in traffic. And then, of course, hang around afterwards because it will take a bit for the parking lots to clear out.
Also, God willing, it'll be a beautiful sunshiny day.
It always is.
Wear sunscreen.
Except when it's not. But yes. No, we've never canceled. We've
Really?
always done a show. We've had to do a low show once when you had a little bit of cloud cover, but we have never canceled.
Yeah, I would. There's not a whole lot of shade out there, folks. You're standing on, like, in an open airport, so it's not like there are obstacles for like trees and stuff for you to shade underneath. But bring your sunscreen, bring your sunglasses, bring ear protection, especially for the
hats,
children.
things like
Like do all those things. Bring a blanket and throw it down on the ground, and like you can sit down and lay down and look up and see
There
this
is not
incredible.
a bad seat.
That's correct. Have you been to an air show, Ryan?
Never.
Oh, okay. So it's time.
I'm sitting here listening, going, ooh. Maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, I think I went when I was really little. And I think I got afraid because of the sound. I mean, that little. Like little.
Well, I mean, there's
a vague memory of that.
Feel the vibrations in your bones. Engine noise.
But I'm sitting here going, man, my 8-year-old, soon to be 9-year-old, would lose his mind going to this.
They don't even know these things are possible.
No.
And then you're like, look like you could reach out and touch these things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there'll be opportunities to meet the pilots. They'll
I was
come
going to
through the
ask
STEM
you.
Expo.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I know that the Blue Angels, they're like super personable. I mean, it's really a public relations thing that the Blue Angels does to
It
push
is.
recruitment and to showcase what our American military can do. Talk to me. We're speaking with Mark Sutherland here, who's a volunteer and just at the epicenter of the air show. Talk to me about what it's like to kind of be behind the scenes, like some of the experiences that you've had meeting these people who move these machines the way they do. Just the behind the scenes access that you have.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a core team of us, about 15 to 20 of us, that spend about 2 years planning every air show. So there's a lot of logistics that go on. But yeah, just being around those quality of individuals, the people that, the Snowbirds and the Blue Angels and the other teams that come through, the F-22 pilot, they've got a really cool job. But at the end of the day, they are the people who have raised their hands and said, I am going to put my life on the line to serve my country. And those are phenomenal individuals, and they are at the pinnacle of their field. But they are the most humble, nicest, approachable people that you'll ever meet. Just great to have conversation with them. I remember I got to fly 2010 with the Blue Angels, and I remember having a conversation while we were flying, and I asked the pilot, CJ, if he rode motorcycles. And he's like, oh, no, that's too dangerous. Here we are going like a Mach 0.96 in a F-18, and I'm like, all right. But no, just really, really great people. And you get to hang out with them in a, you're working, but it's a very informal. You don't sleep for 5 days when we're actually in Airshow Week. But they're just phenomenal people. And they're the inspiration that we want our kids to look at.
Yeah.
And they're the kind of people we want them to emulate.
I want to ask you a little bit more. We've talked a lot about the air show portion of it, but it's a STEM expo too. So just to dig a little bit deeper, you talk about it being a 5-hour air show. I mean, if you spent all 5 hours there, I don't know if you'd be able to do everything.
No.
You could go both days and
yeah.
have a full day both times.
You could. So yeah, get there early, get into the STEM expo, do all the hands-on. It's everything.
You said something about being able to go in airplanes.
So yeah, in the static ramp, they'll have the big airplanes there, and the small airplanes you can talk to all the pilots. But the bigger ones, they open up, and you can usually go in the KC-135 refueler and some of the other big aircraft. That we've had Globemasters in the past. They're also really good shade tents.
Yeah,
those bigger aircraft. But yeah, you'll be able to just meet the pilots and just hands-on, sit in the cockpit. Really get that inspiration. So it's really designed to do all this stuff. And then I hadn't mentioned veterans, the veterans area, Patriots Landing. It's we got tanks, we've got members of the military. You can get hands on again with that and kind of not only honor our heroes in uniform, but really see a little bit of what they do in their jobs and experience a little bit of that yourself as a kid or as an adult.
The tickets are available at spirit-airshow.com, spirit-airshow.com. And as you mentioned, Mark, just a little bit earlier, there's discounts on tickets that are available right now.
Correct.
Those prices go up, Monday morning?
Monday morning, yeah.
So how quickly will it sell out? Like, when do you start kind of looking to see if we got any tickets left?
So VIP will be sold out within weeks. Saturday VIP sold out within days. Sunday there's a few left. The main tickets, one of the days, there's usually a few left right, when we get into Airshow Week. But usually the Saturday will sell out middle of that week, and Sunday will sell out closer to the weekend. So there will be still tickets available then, but the price is going to be higher.
Yeah.
Because gate prices. And also you have to buy online.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually have ticket booths on site. You have to purchase them, and we scan you on the way in.
Here's something that always is a hindrance potentially for me actually getting to the event is I freak out about parking. So talk to me about how, we're going to the Chesterfield Airport, and then what do I do? Because it's intimidating for people to have to drive from around here, because this is worth hours of drive to come to this event. What do they do when they get there?
So follow the signs, follow the flashing symbols. There's lanes. We work very closely with the Chesterfield Police and the St. Louis County Police. They do a phenomenal job. Basically redoing all those roads so you can get 4 or 5 lanes in when it's time to arrive, and 4 or 5 lanes outgoing. There'll be maps on the website as well. But yeah, it's the thing that we have focused on probably the most outside of what goes on in the air is the in and out, the traffic and the parking. finally in 2024 we figured it out, and we got everybody in very quickly and everybody out very quickly.
Yeah.
So we're going to rinse and repeat on what we did in 24, and so hopefully it's a quick in and out for everybody. But things happen. It's traffic. A car breaks down or something, and it just everything will get screwed up. So come early.
Patience pants.
Bring your patience. Even the guys running the parking lot
Yeah.
are volunteers.
Yeah.
So everybody is there because they love what we're doing. They love to give back. So bring your patience, because it's not designed for that many people at
It's
that
a
time.
day. Like you're gonna invest in these tickets for a great cause, and you're gonna spend the day there, and you're driving onto an airport.
Yeah,
So
exactly. You're driving on the taxi ramps.
Yeah,
and,
it's not
and such.
It's not a place that's designed for that type of an event, because that's where the event has to be. So, like when you go there, you're gonna be so blown away by the experience that you have that it'll be worth it.
Quick question, just because I'm thinking about the STEM Expo and everything, and my 8 and 9-year-old, and actually my 12-year-olds too, or my 11-year-olds right now. When you say STEM Expo, is this like booths? Are there presentations? What does that mean? Just
Yes.
I'm curious.
Yeah, so usually we have 20 to 30 different organizations that have robotics, rocketry, bioscience, like hands-on things.
There's stuff they can do.
Stuff they can do. It's
Sounds
very,
awesome.
very much hands-on.
Okay.
And then you just come in and hang out, and then there's a couple of simulators where they can get in and actually fly the
Cool.
aircraft. So it's quite fun. We do have a warning: if you come, bring your kid. Don't get mad at them when they don't want to leave to go watch the air show.
Okay.
We have
Well,
had parents who have complained about that.
Okay.
They complain about that?
Yeah, because the kids are in the STEM Expo. They're like having so much fun. They're like, I don't want to go watch an air show. I
That's
want
a
to do
you and your
this.
kid problem, folks.
See, I've never been to an air show, so I would think you could see the planes flying from other areas.
You can, but it is under shade. If
Okay.
you're in the STEM Expo, you're in the shade.
Okay.
So I'm a huge World War II fan, and I know in the past you've had some of the old World War II fighters. Are there going to be anything like? Is there anything like that there?
There will be.
Is you're acting
coming
coy.
soon.
Okay, so
Coming
we don't have
soon.
any.
You will not be disappointed.
Okay.
They're stealth too.
Contracts are finalized.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But we
You know, the
will be
stealth World
rolling
War II
out
technology.
which of those aircraft will be
that's
will be
exciting.
joining us in the very near future. But you will not be disappointed.
When is the lineup for the air show finalized? Like after it's over? Is it possible there are coming attractions?
Oh yeah, they're
developing all the way up till?
We have got every 1 to 2 weeks. We'll be announcing another aircraft. It's fun to do it that way,
Yeah.
rather than just like, oh, here's everything, and then we'll see you in 6 months. So we kind of it's fun. It's an experience. There is always last minute. So like we put in requests for some of these really elite aircraft that are just going to fly over. We don't find out about those.
They don't know, I'm
sometimes
sure.
till the day before, if
Yeah.
not the morning of.
Oh wow.
That is just so
'Cause
fun.
it's all to do with what their mission requirements are.
Right.
Sure. Like, what is their availability? There's no possible way they would know in February.
Exactly. We're penciled in.
Yeah.
And if everything works out, they'll be there.
That'll be fun.
But if they have to go fly somewhere and drop some things, they won't be there. Let's put it that way.
That could be this weekend, from what I understand.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Well, Mark, thank you. I'd like to have you come back in again, maybe midway point between
Anytime.
now and there. Ryan's interested in parachuting, or I'm interested in him parachuting. So if you got anything he could jump out of,
No,
Ryan?
the kind where you just hold it on the ground and you shake it with several other
PE?
people. Yeah.
No.
Put a ball in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's
Everybody laughs.
exactly what we're saying.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'll sign all his forms, Mark. You just give them to me.
Oh, that was my favorite day in gym.
We're not gonna
parachuting.
Don't take this. I need to go to a break. Mark Sutherland, it's been a pleasure to have you. It's always wonderful to hear your lovely voice as well, and we can't wait for the air show this summer. I've got it on my calendar already, and I'm like telling everybody, like, don't put anything that weekend because we're going at least one of those days. You will not regret investing in these tickets, and get them now because prices go up on Monday. So it's great to be able to get you connected to that at spirit-airshow.com. Spirit-airshow.com. You can purchase tickets there. And a reminder, you can't get them there the day of the event. You have to buy them online. Spirit-airshow.com. Mark, thank you.
Anytime.
Great to see you. All right, let's take a quick break. Wiggins America next.
Take it all out on your stride. It's taking falling down.
Triton Exteriors, St. Louis roofing, siding, and gutter systems. We'll take care of you and your home. We're #1 in the Ladue, Kirkwood, and Webster area. James Hardy certified. Visit Triton.stl.com to be connected with a James Hardy expert and receive a free estimate. Triton-stl.com or call 314-717-1159. That's 314-717-1159. Triton Exteriors, St. Louis #1 James Hardy specialists.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
Meet Linda. She's stuck in a school pickup line, thinking about what to make for dinner. Are the kids' practice jerseys clean? If she sent out that last email before leaving work. But you know what she's not thinking about? Her HVAC system. Linda is a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Members get 2 HVAC system checks per year. We clean and inspect your HVAC systems at each visit. Partners also get priority service and exclusive discounts starting at just $19 per month. Life is chaos, but with Air Comfort Service, you'll have peace of mind with your HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com today. After all, comfort is our middle name.
The team at Ricken Financial want to help you make educated and informed decisions about your retirement strategies.
Why not rely on individuals who can optimize your thinking and optimize your plan and optimize all the resources and show you what's all available to be able to make a truly informed decision?
Call Ricken Financial today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens Sunday at 1 p.m. here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? Have you changed your opinion on this question at all? Today in the YouTube live chat poll, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? 3 options. 1, he killed himself. 2, he was murdered. 3, he's still alive.
Real quick question. What percentage of our audience do you think is going to vote that he's still alive? At the end of the show, predict right now. The other 2, okay, but like how many people, what percentage of our audience that's going to vote in this do you actually anticipate think he's still alive?
35%.
35? Over a third?
Yeah. Well, roughly a third.
Lovely a third?
That's lovely a third. And the other one's a third also because they have to be then.
The other 2 don't have to be.
I guess you could split them up differently, but I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's math. Those
I'm
are
going to splay. Stop asking me questions. I'm trying to read.
Well, it's going to be a fun day, guys. Don't go away.
Well, let us know on the YouTube live chat poll today. The way that you can let us know is by logging on to YouTube and commenting there and voting there. You can text in your response, 314-241-9797.
We're 100 votes in so far.
It is 12:47, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
Brad, what percentage of our audience do you think is going to say that they think Epstein's still alive?
I think it's closer to like 6%.
6? Brad says 6%. Ryan says 35.
What do you think?
Lovely 1/3. Well, I have already seen the results, so I know what they are. Well, I know what they are currently. You go to the youtube.com/@AnnieFry, youtube.com/@AnnieFry, or just open your YouTube app, and you'll see we're broadcasting live. That live chat is right there. You can vote in the poll. It's at the top.
Crap, that means you've already seen the results, and you were surprised by my answer, so I was way off.
You put a little thought into that. I would never think. The hyper conspiratorial part of the Epstein thing is that he's still alive. There's the back and forth. Did he kill himself? Someone off him? That's what everybody has been talking about. But now that the Epstein files are out and everyone thinks that he was a triple agent and then maybe Mossad came in and scooped him up and swapped him out, or I don't know.
All right, 34%.
Okay, we're getting a little closer. Still a third.
Still above a third.
Lovely third.
Lovely.
Wiggins America.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
The bee or not the bee?
Info dude says fourth option is aliens.
Dang it.
That'll be
I
another
had a
35%.
four. If I would have known that was something that was being discussed. Is that something that's being discussed?
We got to ask whether he means outer space or illegal.
See, I only have options for 4, not 5 options.
Yeah. Well, that could cover both.
Extraterrestrials or illegals?
That would be an interesting question. Jeffrey Epstein, extraterrestrials or illegal aliens? What? What is that question?
Man, we're treading on so many lines right now. I don't know which way to back up to not back over the other one.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to the bee or not the bee. These are stories that are either fake or real. I'll read the headline. You got to tell me whether it's satire from the Babylon Bee or it's a real headline. First one, Thomas Massey to hold his own State of the Union on street corner outside TJ Maxx.
B, I saw that one.
This is a Babylon Bee.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
According to
Picture was even better.
Yeah, it was. According to witnesses, the street corner is already abuzz, and at least 24 devoted fans are waiting to hear the speech. Whoa, I'm voting for this guy, said Arnold Johnson, a clearly impressed TJ Maxx employee. Arnie said that. Is he a street preacher or something?
It's a missionary.
Another person said, is this the line for Dutch Brothers? At publishing time, President Trump called Thomas Massey out.
This is a really accurate reflection of the electorate.
President Trump called Thomas Massey out during his own State of the Union speech, calling him one of the worst Masseys I've ever seen, maybe ever. One of the worst Masseys I've ever seen. See, not just politicians. It was in particular.
Thanks for
driving
the
that
emphasis
home.
on the joke.
Next one. Democrats refuse to stand as Trump introduces Jesus.
Of course they would. B.
B.
That is correct. This is the Babylon Bee. This did not actually happen on Tuesday night. Quote, the Son of God is here, folks.
Wouldn't it have been great if he would have introduced Jesus and it would have been Jesus from Hallow?
That would have been great.
Chris Pratt in that latest commercial calls up Hollywood Jesus. I don't know what's his name. He's got a real name. Calls him up on a FaceTime, and he's like, oh, hey, man, what you doing? He's like, I'm just praying. He goes, you would, Jesus. Chris Pratt says that in a Hallow commercial. And I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Son of God is here. Let's hear it for him, folks, Trump said as he addressed the crowd. He came a long way to be here. He is omnipresent, but we'll give him credit for it anyway, won't we? There's Jesus. Let's hear it for Jesus. We love him, don't we, folks? The Republicans in the audience and other spectators quickly jumped to their feet and offered an uproarious ovation, while Democrats sat silent. The president responded with disappointment at the display of disrespect. Quote, look at the Democrats, he continued. Do you believe this? They won't stand up for Jesus.
Stand up for Jesus.
Sounds like one from Sunday school. I don't remember that one.
Just the hymnal. Soldiers of the cross.
Oh, well, okay.
The royal banner. From victory until victory.
Kind of trailed off there. Do you know the words, or you just
I'm like 80% sure, but if I sing them wrong, I'll get texts.
Yeah.
Come on, I sang stand up for Jesus. Don't I get credit for that? And all the Lutherans said, no.
Come on, she's one of you.
Lutheran
like
joke.
her. All right, Fox News crushes CNN, MS Now with 35% more viewers than both channels combined.
Real.
Yeah, this is real.
It's real.
During primetime coverage from Monday through Sunday, Fox News averaged 2.61 million primetime viewers, far above CNN and MS Now combined at only 1.94 million. It also dominated in the key advertising demographic, so it's not just old people, of viewers aged 25 to 54, with average primetime viewership of 260,000 compared to 154 for CNN and 131 for MS Now. Fox News continues to dominate. It was even beating CBS head-to-head, which is not even a cable channel.
From victory unto victory, his army shall he lead, till every foe is vanquished, and Christ is Lord indeed. I remembered them.
So you did not.
I did.
That was a lie. You looked it up.
I remembered them when I was singing them.
You remember them because you just read them.
But I remember them. It's not a lie.
All right. Tell me if this is a lie.
The B.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth puts the Boy Scouts on notice.
Real.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this is real.
You're right. This is a real story.
Or maybe the B because it's the Scouts.
Well, okay, I get what you're saying, but no, this is a real story. It says the Department of War has officially put Scouting America on notice. It is time to get back to basics, and the DOW, the Department of War, is leading the charge. After 2012, this is what Hegseth said, the Boy Scouts lost their way, and a once great organization became gravely wounded. DEI crept in. The name was changed to Scouting America. Girls were accepted into Scouting America.
We can't have girls being accepted.
Well, they have their own scouts.
Yeah.
The focus on God as the ruler of the universe was watered down to include openness, to humanism and earth-centered pagan religions. They even welcomed the destructive myth of gender fluidity and transgenderism. Along the way, standards were lowered and merit destroyed in favor of insidious, radical, woke ideology that is anti-America and anti-American.
Do the Scouts have anything to do with the military?
I think he is viewing it as a place that trains up future military members, and that is why it is.
Well, I'm sure
important.
maybe there's a higher percentage of Scouts that become military affiliated just by virtue of. I would look at Scouting as something that was disciplined.
That is entirely what he implied in this.
But there's no subsidy or anything like that.
Not that I'm aware of.
So it's kind of like for the Boy Scouts, there's an affiliation and an
cultural.
affinity for
Yes.
Military, just like the Girl Scouts have that affiliation and affinity for Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes. Okay, real quick. Iran says they will rain death and destruction on the U.S. if they are bombed 2 more times.
This has to be the...
So we're counting to 3 with a 2 1/4, 2.5. Parents, don't do that.
That's right.
You just lower the boom on 3.
Yep, it says that the Ayatollah said, quote, "You see what we do to our own people. Imagine if that were you." Negotiations reportedly told Rubio and envoy Steve Witkoff. At publishing time, Ayatollah had issued a threat that the U.S. didn't even want to know what would happen if they got bombed an 8th time.
Stay tuned. We have no idea what's going to happen in the next 48 hours in this country. But we did start the show with Trump saying that we will have a very friendly potential takeover of Cuba. So stick around. Back in a minute.
If you're thinking about refinancing, he has some great advice.
Mark, this is a great time to refinance. If you financed over the last 3 years, you're probably paying a higher rate. Take advantage now. Refinance with the Bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. For those of you folks that are waiting on the sideline saying, hey, maybe the rates will go down more, I'm going to wait. Take advantage now. A bird in the hand's better than 2 in the bush. Refinance. Get the cash out you need. Get a lower rate. Maybe even go from a 30 to a 20 year and keep that payment the same. All with the Bagel loan.
This is a quick process, right?
We close in 10 days. We send a notary out to your house to close so you don't have to take off any time from work. It's easy. It's simple. Bing, bang, boom. Your home is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Deal with somebody local, somebody has a reputation, somebody has accountability. I'm here in town. You can call me or text me after hours, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com. Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Start your summer early at the St. Charles Boat Show, March 5th through 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center. The top marine dealers from the Lake of the Ozarks will be on site with the newest boats, personal watercraft, docks, and accessories. Step aboard, compare models, and find the perfect ride for your family. Special show pricing and experts ready to help make your boating dreams a reality. Visit LakeoftheOzarksBoatDealers.com for more information.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let my friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. The work is guaranteed, and it's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. No extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, since 1926, 100 years. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Excellent weather on this Friday afternoon. 69 for the high, well short of the record of 86. Tonight, clear skies. Nice evening for this time of year, 43 for the low. The weekend, Saturday, sunny and nice, 65. Sunday, clouds dominate with a mix of light rain and sloppy wet snow. It's colder Friday with a high of 42. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
President Trump weighs in on an Epstein deposition. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, as former President Bill Clinton answers questions under oath in a House panel's Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
I don't like seeing him deposed, but, they certainly went after me a lot more than that.
President Trump also telling reporters he likes the former president and repeating he doesn't like seeing him deposed, but he stopped short of directly addressing whether Clinton's testimony sets a precedent as Democrats call for President Trump to testify. Clinton is denying doing or seeing anything wrong. Fox's Chad Pergram reading part of his statement to lawmakers.
Quote, I had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committing. No matter how many photos you show me, I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I did not see. I know what I did, and more importantly, what I did not do. I saw nothing, and I did nothing wrong. At least one Republican on the committee is joining Democrat calls for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to testify.
Lutnick claimed that he cut ties with Epstein, who was his neighbor, in 2005. A 2012 visit by Lutnick and his family to Epstein's Island later came to light, and emails released by the Justice Department revealed that the two had contact as recently as 2018.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. President Trump today calling Lutnick a very innocent guy doing a good job. The president says he has not made a final decision yet about Iran, still holding open the possibility of military action if there's no deal on Iran's nuclear program, and he's not happy with negotiations.
I'm not happy with the fact that they're not willing to give us what we have to have, so I'm not thrilled with that. We'll see what happens.
The president says he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Vice President Vance just meeting with Oman's foreign minister, who's been mediating the talks. The U.S. Attorney General just announcing an unsealed indictment charging more than 30 people in the anti-ICE protest that disrupted a church service in Minnesota. America is listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your furnace breaks down, call Air Comfort Service for a $99 call. And don't forget, if your furnace breaks, even on a weekend, Air Comfort Service offers 24/7 emergency service. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
I absolutely would have stood up. And here's the thing. Elizabeth Warren stood up when he talked about, insider trading issues within the United States government with elected officials and how that had needed to be eradicated. She stood up to support that. Why wouldn't you stand up to support what he said? And you have to anticipate. He's playing them like a fiddle. Yeah. He knows they're not going to stand up. He knows how bad it's going to make them look. I would have called this bluff, and I would have stood up and I would have said, you're damn right, because the bottom line is, you got to remember, he's the key words that came out of his mouth. He said American citizens. So there are plenty of people who are American citizens who are of the same ethnic consent, consent as the immigrants and migrants are. You have people who are Hispanics. You have people who wherever they're from. It could be Venezuela, it could be Guatemala, it could be Mexico, it could be anywhere. You understand? Who are American citizens. So when he said American citizens and American citizens first of all, that's the right thing, because it should be American citizens first, number one. And number two, for people on the left, some of them, not most, not all, but some of them coming out and saying that what he said was racist. Well, how?
So you got Stephen A. Smith talking about the State of the Union and how President Trump very intelligently gave the Democrats an opportunity to say, we literally stand for American citizens. Or President Trump gave the Democrats to say, we will not stand for American citizens. He put them on the spot. But if you felt like you were put on the spot when the president says, all right, Congress, all right, people who are sent here by the American voter, all right, folks who are paid by the American taxpayer, do you work first and foremost, the priority of your responsibility here? Is it not for the American citizens? And the Democrats said, no, Donald Trump, we hate you so much. We despise you so much, President Trump, that we're not even going to stand for it. And he got him exactly where he wanted. They hate this man more than they even love the illegal immigrants. The Democrats in Congress there, they sat for themselves. Don't get it twisted. All right, let's get to our next guest here. Kaelan Dorr, Deputy Assistant to the President and White House Deputy Communications Director. Kaelan, thank you for the time today. Pleasure to have you on the Annie Fry Show with us.
Long time. It's been a long time, Annie. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and thanks for all the hard work you're doing out there covering the president's speech this week and everything else. I know we give you quite a few things to talk about, every 10 minutes. So we really appreciate all you're doing.
Well, I'm grateful for your time as well. And, we watched the speech this week, and I was waiting for the thing that the president did where those who despise him the most, where the president kind of toes that line, maybe takes one big step across it. He did not do that in the State of the Union. There was nothing that fell out of this speech that he gave on Tuesday that gave the Democrats the opportunity in the media to spin it in a way against him. And actually, he made the speech about the American people. And I don't know that the Democrats really know what to do with themselves after it. How's the White House feeling post State of the Union?
Well, you know what cracks me up about this speech in particular is that, yeah, it's like it was the longest State of the Union of all time, but it's not like it was anything, he didn't break news in that he just rattled off the list of tangible quality of life improvements we've presented to the American public for the last, year and some change now. And it's just simple. It's just nothing is he's the most pragmatic president of all time. And I think that comes through the speech. He didn't need to be inflammatory. He didn't need to go wreck Democrats. You want to know why? Because they did it themselves. And they don't live on the same planet as the rest of us. We take a look at some of the things that have been the most quote unquote controversial over the last year, such as deporting, all these illegal criminal aliens. And, the left for the last year has breathlessly, reflexively defended some of the worst human beings on the planet, pedophiles, murderers, rapists. And, he didn't have to do anything. He let them do their thing, which is clown themselves on a national stage.
Yeah, I really look at what the Democrat Party stands for, at least in their own words, and it's just direct opposition to President Trump, but I don't really hear them advocating for the American people. The rebuttal speech that was given by the new Virginia governor was really trying to challenge people to consider whether or not the president is really trying to make life better for the American citizen, the American consumer, the American bill payer. What do you feel like from the rebuttal from the Democrats? How does the White House feel about the positioning that the Democrats are taking in contrast to what Republicans have to offer?
Yeah, I think the governor spoke with the intelligence and fluency of my 14-month-old at home. They both babbled off the same kind of nonsense over and over, and that argument doesn't work. The argument just quite simply is not resonating with the American people. And you can't go up there and say those things after 4 years of a president and Joe Biden, who had a son directly benefiting from being here, right? You can't stand up and say this president is only looking out for himself and he's enriching himself when he's not. Just on paper, he is not doing that as an objective truth. And last, administration, you had Hunter Biden making millions of dollars for, again, doing something my 14-month-old daughter does, and just smearing paint on a canvas. It is absolutely, positively ridiculous. And to even assert that we have done nothing for the American people is downright idiotic.
Yeah.
It is nonsensical in the sense that we've gotten inflation under control and we're doing things to nip around the edges on the issue of the Biden era tax hikes and price hikes. And that, when you think about it, Annie, you're going to be spending less money on, say, hospital bills because you're going to be eating healthier because we've fixed, food dyes. We're advancing our MAHA agenda. We're, providing transparency so people can make educated decisions on what they're doing. And then also if you're, a tip worker or you're anything from a video game streamer to a waiter or waitress or a barber, you're bringing home more money on your own. And so these are things that no one's ever done before, and they're foreign concepts to the governor of Virginia, who I live in Virginia. We're already seeing the negative impacts of what she does here, and I wouldn't take her word for anything.
Kaelan Dorr speaking with us, Deputy Assistant to the President and White House Deputy Communications Director. I want to ask you, it's kind of a broad question, but we found out this week, Susie Wiles, Kash Patel, that they were surveilled during the leading up to the campaign for President Trump's 2024 presidential run. There's a historic just lining up of people who, if you are affiliated with Donald Trump, and the Bidens were in charge or the deep state was in motion, it's a risk to be out in public and to be opposed to the swamp or to the activist, aggressive Progressive Party. Now we find out that the feds have made 25 plus more arrests from that Minnesota church invasion. I want to ask you, not on the specifics of any of those things listed, but it's a risk in the United States of America to publicly support this president and to publicly advocate that this president supports us. What do you say to those Americans listening right now here in the greater St. Louis area who love this president, who are grateful for what this administration is doing, but know that it's a little bit of a risk to be bold and to be out with their support for this administration?
I'd say I've been around for quite a bit. I've been with the president since 2015, and I would my rebuttal to that would be that it is far easier to be an outspoken conservative now than it was definitely 10 years ago. And I would say don't let them win. Like fundamentally, the left wins when you feel like you're alone, when you're the person you're the only person who thinks, eats, prays, sleeps the way that you do. And that is truly the magic of President Trump, is that, love him or hate him, he makes you care about the skin you have in the game and the great American experiment at the end of the day. And he connects people at the end of the day. And that is truly just like the magical thing about him, not to equate him to like a fairy pixie or something like that, but genuinely, like, there is something special about him, and that is why he is one of one, and he's the greatest president of, maybe in all of history, is because he cuts through that BS and that noise, and he's connecting folks. And so what I'd say is, go out there and, find communities of other conservatives and make sure that you are networking and you're sharing ideas and you're being a part of something better and bigger than yourself, because that is ultimately, the marketplace of ideas in this country is ultimately what makes us great. And that's what we seek to empower with everything we do, is we want everyone to have, regardless of if you love us or hate us, the jet fuel to go out and live your version of the American dream. And if your version of the American dream is to yell about and have PDS and be a crazy person, then by all means have at it. We're not going to stop you. And I think it is a complete and total antithesis to what the left believes in. And I'm proud of that. I know everyone here on our team works very, very hard. They're proud of it too. And everyone there in the state of Missouri, I know my family, they don't live in St. Louis, they live in Kansas City, but I know there's some good folks out there in the middle of the country. So just remember, you're not alone. We're here. We're fighting for you.
Kaelan Dorr, thank you for the time today. We're grateful for it. We look forward to having you back again soon.
You're the best, Annie. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye. Kind of him to say. Deputy Assistant to the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and White House Deputy Communications Director Kaelan Dorr on with us. Good to speak with him. I continue to come back to this. There is a tether to just the understanding of being a happy warrior, being somebody who has a joyful purpose. And I see that on one side of the political aisle. It's not 100% of the time. It's not like Republicans are batting 1,000 about marching through on this righteous cause that they feel like they have, because I certainly know people on the left who feel very much so, very impassioned, very emotional, intellectual people who feel like they have a righteous cause. And in this country, we should be able to articulate those thoughts. We should be able to debate and communicate those points and those purposes. It just feels as though one side is prone to anger and rage, and the other is not. And I don't, of course, right now Donald Trump's president again, and who would have thought, right? He would. President Trump would have thought that. But when you think back to when Biden was the president, I mean, you'd hear Joe Biden's name and you'd roll your eyes, and you'd think about the Inflation Reduction Act, which they would champion about reducing inflation while inflation was skyrocketing. And it's annoying, but was the compulsion there to react in the way that the left reacts to their disgust and their hatred for Donald Trump? I mean, not even for a second. I just, for me personally, I just kind of locked into those things that were the most important to me and protect my circle of people and of priorities and stay the course and, try to do better the next opportunity we have to go vote. It worked out. This country has a pendulum. It goes back and forth. But I just look at the other side, and there's, for the people who speak for the Democrats in the party, in front of the cameras and behind the microphones, they do not represent the people I know in my life. Real, red-blooded American people who don't like Trump, who do vote Democrat. The most vocal people in the Democrat Party right now do not represent those Democrats that I know who did not and would not vote for Donald Trump. Which makes me wonder where the Democrat Party is headed, because I don't feel as though the voice of the left is really a reflection of the people who would maybe like an alternative. We shall see. The YouTube poll for today: what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself, he was murdered, or Jeffrey Epstein is alive? Let us know what you think. Go to youtube.com/@AnnieFry. Open that YouTube app on your phone, or just go to youtube.com/@AnnieFry on your desktop, and you'll see we're broadcasting live right there, and the poll is right there in the live chat of the live broadcast. You can vote there, but we'll also love to take your texts on the text line, 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Text us and tell us what you think the Jeffrey Epstein real story is. At 1:30, we're going to speak with Mike Wood. He is the Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney. Folks, did you see that video of that semi driving the wrong way on the Highway 61 in Missouri? 61 or 67? And it's just like going at a full pace the wrong way on the highway. Well, Mike Wood, the prosecuting attorney there, is going to tell us what they're doing about it and where their hands are tied and where it needs to go to a higher level. Mike Wood will talk to us about that. And the CDLs that are being issued all across the country that are putting your life and mine in danger. We got a big problem we got to fix. We'll shed some light on it at 1:30. Don't go away. AirComfortService.com. Visit their website and learn all about the different services that they offer. Air Comfort Services, heating, cooling, and insulation. So it's not just your furnace that you're going to get fixed or your AC. They have insulation services that they offer you. And folks, they are both residential and commercial. 314-513-0091 is the number to reach Air Comfort Service directly. They've been a longtime partner and sponsor of this show. We're incredibly grateful for Corey Malone and his amazing team at Air Comfort Service. When you want reliable, accurate, kind service with the backup that you're going to need to make sure that everything is going to work correctly, you want Air Comfort Service. And you can reach out to them, as I said, at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091 if you'd like to get a free second opinion on a heat exchanger or compressor repair. Air Comfort Service has provided residential and commercial heating cooling services for 57 years. You could be next. 314-513-0091. Tell them Annie said hi. AirComfortService.com.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What do you expect to hear from Hillary and Bill on these depositions in front of the House Oversight? I don't know that you're going to have these depositions and have some huge kind of revelation, but maybe.
I was surprised that one of their big negotiation points was that it should be made public. They were adamant about that.
It wasn't that it should be made public. They wanted it to be public live. They wanted to be able to make political hay out of it. It's not the same thing. Like what they're doing now, making the videos and the transcripts public, is not what they why they delayed for 7 months and defied a subpoena and all of that.
Right.
But if you do it publicly and you feel like you can win the political game, and I would think that Hillary and Bill would both think that they could go toe-to-toe with anybody sitting on a congressional panel in public, they'd just make it all about Trump publicly. Because that's what the Democrats are doing. When you see the Democrats come up to the panel, they're like, we are willing to talk to Bill Clinton because we want to talk to Donald Trump. But if you even dig just a centimeter below the surface on what is in the Epstein files, there is nothing in the Epstein files that alleges Donald Trump did anything wrong. He's in it a lot. They talk about him a lot. But there's nothing. There's no types of inappropriate. There's a lot of photos that have been shared on X that are AI photos. There's that picture that you might have seen of Donald Trump on a jet with girls sitting on his lap. That's not a real photo. Listen, you're going to see things and you're going to be like, oh, that's AI. And it's going to be real. But 98% of the time where you see something that's too crazy to believe, it's just AI. So we're going to hopefully be so skeptical of everything that it's going to take a lot of effort to prove that what we're looking at and seeing is actually true. When I see people on the left giving facts or photos or evidence of why Donald Trump is implicated in the Epstein files, it's all bullcrap. And I don't know. There are some of those people who don't know that. There are some of those people who are sharing files. They're like showing, like, let me just put it this way. If Donald Trump were in the photos from the Epstein files that are real, that Bill Clinton was in, if it was Trump instead of Bill Clinton, I would be uncomfortable by it. I would not be able to come on here and say, Trump's not implicated in any of this. And as he said under Marine One on the White House lawn today, he has been completely exonerated due to the release of the Epstein files. There are documents. Here's another thing that people are going to say, Annie, that's not true. There are a lot of allegations against Donald Trump. There are documents in the Epstein files where there are people who make allegations against Donald Trump, and it also shows that none of them are corroborated and most of them are debunked. So there are documents in the Epstein files of people accusing Donald Trump of things that they cannot prove that he did, that they can prove that he did not. And my understanding is that it's been pulled out because it's like a hit job.
Yeah, the one that I think you're referring to was the one that came out in the midst of like the 3 million documents that came out.
Like the spreadsheet or something. Jake Tapper shared it.
And it was an uncorroborated witness who came out during the 2020 presidential election cycle, which is important. And
very important.
Said, really graphic things about Trump and underage girls. And it said in that same deposition or whatever you call it, that this was considered to be by the person taking the statement to be an unreliable witness by the person taking it.
Right.
It's right there in the document. But I think the reverse is true, that these documents really have shown Trump in a better light than anybody's really giving him credit for.
If Bill Clinton were talked about in the Epstein files the way Trump was, the left would be championing Bill Clinton for being kind of an enemy of Jeffrey Epstein. If Donald Trump were shown in hot tubs and pools with girls rubbing his back and all of these types of things that are included in there, if those were Donald Trump in those photos rather than Bill Clinton, then the Democrats would be beside themselves.
Yeah. And it's on record, and it's in those documents, too, that he was working with the FBI, with law enforcement, when he was confronted with the fact that Epstein may be involved with crimes. He said, yeah, let's talk. And he was the FBI agent that took that said he was one of the only ones of all the people they contacted who was willing to talk to law enforcement, because the rest of them just shut up. They didn't want to be involved with it, but he was willing. And he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. All that's true.
Talked to the sheriff in Palm Beach and was like, you need to be onto this guy and you need to check out Ghislaine Maxwell too, because she's I think, did he call her evil or said she's trouble or something like that? I mean, the other thing about it is that the communications that exist that have been exposed in the Epstein file, the communications that are there that involve Trump he's consistent. There is a consistency over time in the dissatisfaction that Epstein has with Trump, which parallels with what we know about Donald Trump having a dissatisfaction with Epstein, calling him a creep, kicking him out of his club, so on and so forth. Now, I don't know, is it possible? Like, here's the other thing that I don't think really ever gets talked about. If Epstein had of-age women working as working girls on an island, that's not illegal, right?
It's not. Well, I don't think that's illegal. I mean, it may be misdemeanor illegal, depending on where it's at.
If the underage thing is the prevailing
That's the
salacious
point.
thing that I want to see people strung up for. But there are very likely, very unethical, very immoral things that could have been taking place that could involve any of these high, powerful people that you would see and you'd be like, that's disgusting, and I'm ashamed that that person has any sort of ever had power or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily rise to the level of illegal.
Right.
There are so many gray areas, and the fact that we don't have somebody coming out and saying, this person did this that's illegal, this person did this that's illegal, this person did this, it's immoral and ethical, and he should be shamed. She should be shamed. There's just so much to comb through. So I don't know. What are we going to get from the Bill Clinton deposition or the Hillary Clinton deposition? We're going to continue to find out. We're waiting for the tapes to be released. We're going to speak with Mike Wood when we come back. Boy, don't you want to know about what's going on with these truck drivers driving the frickin' wrong way down Missouri highways? Where was that truck driver registered to? You guessed it, Minnesota. We're going to find out more about that with Mike Wood, the Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney, next. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, your key to a worry-free retirement. That kind of sums it up, doesn't it? When you call 314-993-9494, call 314-993-9494, you're going to connect with Bob and Tammy Kershaw or with Thomas Helbig, and you're going to be able to move into that process where, since you're in your late 50s, you're in your 60s, could be in your 70s, but you've started that I'm going to transition into retirement phase of your career, and you want to know, gosh, I maybe would like to go a year earlier, maybe 2 years, something's changed in life, and you want to change the game plan a little bit, but you want to make sure that when you do transition, that retirement stays worry-free. Well, that's where the Retirement Advisory comes in. When you call 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, you'll set up an appointment with them. You'll sit down, you'll have a conversation with them. It's not going to cost you anything to do it, and you can walk away from that when you're done. Or you can hire them to make sure that retirement truly is worry-free. It's the Retirement Advisory Group online at retirementkey.com.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Hypnosis can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Hypnosis with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Hypnosis will be in St. Louis on Saturday, March 7th.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about dessert.
Only $59.99. Lose all the weight you want. 100% guaranteed. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis, 11 a.m. Registration, 10:30 a.m. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB, and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
All right, it's a Jeffrey Epstein question today with the YouTube live chat poll. What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself, he was murdered, or he's alive. Here's a couple comments from our text line, 314-241-9797. This person says, still alive. That's why there's a cover-up. Too many people are guilty of wrongdoing, and he has a lot of pull and persuasion with the rich and powerful. Another person right after that says, Epstein got suicided by the Clintons. Let us know what you think about today's poll. It is 1:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From Festus to Freeburg, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
We've seen Joe Biden allow in 12, 15, 20 million people into the country over that 4 years. And now a lot of them have gone out and gotten commercial driver's licenses. So when they went to a sham school, they got a sham license, they're not qualified. These are 80,000-pound big rigs, and they've hit the road. And now we see, because they don't know how to drive, they're actually killing Americans on these roads. So we are clamping down on the fake schools and the fake licenses. We need our states to partner with us, which is really important. I can't do it myself. I don't have like an FBI force. I need the states to help me, which they are. But even if you get your driver's license in America, we'll do a background check. We'll look at your, did you have a drunk driving? Did you, what kind of speeding record do you have? Did you have a violent criminal history? Do you have driving offenses? They just give you a license. And we see the unqualified drivers that hit the roads and again endanger Americans. We are tightening up these rules to make sure we have good drivers driving on American roads and keeping everyone safe.
Is it too much to ask there? The Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, talking about the state of truck drivers right now in our country. And, you know, I'm scared for myself. I drive the highway every day. But I got a 16-year-old son who is putting his wheels on the road to try to get from A to B. And to think that there are people who are just blindly driving down the wrong side of the road on highways here in the state of Missouri and everywhere else you might, especially in Illinois, when we know that, 1 in 5 of those CDLs issued are illegal? What is going on? Well, let's talk to Mike Wood. He's the Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney. And Mike, thank you for being on the show with us today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Annie. Thank me for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. And you commented on the video that I shared on X about this car driving in a clip down the wrong side of the road. Mike, what can you tell us about what you know from this viral video? It's become a national news story of this truck driver driving the wrong way on a Missouri highway.
So here's what I can tell you. Obviously, that clip started to hit the rounds on social media the night that it had occurred. And I remember people were sharing it with me like, hey, this is out of control. What are you guys planning to do? And once I was able to verify that there was a law enforcement response, the morning I came in, I thought to myself, this is out of control. I mean, this tractor trailer made no attempts to slow down, stop, seek any type of help. He's going at least 55 miles an hour. And I can tell you, based on Highway 61, which happens to be one of the most dangerous highways in Missouri, sadly, someone comes over that blind hill. And then we're talking about another scenario where an entire family is killed. And that's been a nationwide story from Florida, where we have truck drivers with CDLs that are coming out of California and other states that are sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. They're giving them these licenses and they can't even read English.
Yeah.
And so it's a huge safety risk. And I remember coming in when we looked at the probable cause statement when it was turned over to our office, I was frustrated enough at how dangerous the situation was. But then when I realized that this person couldn't even pass an English proficiency exam, we were even angrier. And I remember as we were building the charge language, one thing that really stood out to me is that unless somebody is injured or there's an accident, we're constrained by 2 misdemeanors that we were able to file. And look, to the extent that we can try to get creative and get a felony level case, we certainly would. But right now we've requested a no bond warrant for this particular driver. And what was most disturbing, and I heard the secretary speaking on your clip there, what's most disturbing is in Minnesota, when these drivers are stopped, there's no social security number associated with the CDL. And so we don't have any way to track whether or not they have any criminal history. We weren't able to track any type of background. The driver at the time was unable to establish any type of meaningful evidence regarding residency, just so we could simply track who they were, what they're doing, whether they have any criminal history. And so that's kind of where we got where we're at today.
We're speaking with Lincoln County prosecuting attorney Mike Wood. It's so frustrating to know that he's got to injure or kill somebody in order for us to really be able to do something to remove this guy from the street. So what do you know specifically? You told us a lot of things that you can't know, but what do we know about this driver and about the company he was driving for?
Okay, so what we've got is initial reports from Highway Patrol. Now, mind you, we're dealing with limited evidence. What our initial reports had shown is that the driver who had been stopped turned over what was a valid CDL license from Minnesota. However, that CDL license is not tied to any type of meaningful information regarding what their background is, what their criminal history is, or anything of that nature. Then we later found out from investigative sources that this particular driver was tied to some type of almost a shell company or some type of company that couldn't legitimately really be traced. And then it occurred to me once the Secretary of Transportation was making statements as we were charging this, hey, look, we've got the State of the Union. We've got the Vice President who's going to be launching a fraud investigation into Minnesota because of all the fraud dealing with Somalis in the community and those who are illegal. And trucking and transportation is part of the facet of the billions of dollars of fraud that have been happening under the Tim Walz administration. And I want to point out, when we think about issues dealing with ICE raids, illegal immigration, sanctuary cities, well, guess what? That's not here in Missouri, at least not in a meaningful impact where we are in Lincoln County. But guess what? That's an issue that could have led to the death of an entire family who could have just been traveling on Highway 61 North. And it's just completely unacceptable. I'm glad to hear that they already suspended the CDL license of this particular driver. I wish they had just arrested him here on the spot. We'd have held him in custody to make sure we could prosecute as much as we could. But what I can say is we've notified ICE, and as long as there's a no bond warrant out, as long as he gets picked up somewhere and they're able to identify him, there will be an ICE hold on him, and potentially where he's at, we'll get an extradition as well. So
I'm stupid, so I got to ask this question to make sure I understand everything correctly here. Mike Wood, Lincoln County, Missouri, prosecuting attorney. You said, do we know that he's here? We know that he's an immigrant. Do we know that he's not a citizen? Do we know that he is deportable?
So what we know is that he has an inability to speak English and an Arabic name, and he has identification that doesn't require him to establish or prove that he is an actual citizen. We don't have any information whatsoever to prove that he is actually a citizen of the United States. If
you pulled over random 10 truck drivers that are just doing their job, would they have those things?
They should. At least my understanding from Missouri is that they're required to have those credentials in order to possess a CDL. I'm not under the impression, and I don't live or work in Minnesota, that they do not require it, and that's probably purposeful. It's also the same situation in California as well.
Mike Wood, Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney who is close to this case. So talk to me about, okay, you've told us a lot of the obstacles that you're facing right now to ensure that this guy is not going to endanger another life, that he has already, so many people who passed him. First, real quick question, was he driving on the shoulder or was he driving in the lane the wrong way?
So this was the most disturbing part. is that he was driving at what looks like maybe 45 or 50 miles an hour.
He wasn't
in
creeping.
the fast lane, Annie, in the fast lane. And so I was talking to my wife last night. I can't imagine a scenario where me and my family are in our car and you come over a hill and there's a tractor trailer moving at a full clip right at you. That's just a recipe for disaster. And the sad part is it could have been completely avoidable. But also, let's just look at it from a criminal prosecution standpoint. This particular driver took no circumstances to mitigate this situation whatsoever. I think any reasonable person would have pulled over, stopped, called for assistance or help. But certainly putting the lives of Missouri drivers in danger is unacceptable.
Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney Mike Wood speaking with us. Do you know from the traffic stop or the conversations that they had with this driver, did he know he was driving the wrong way? Was there any sort of remorse? Is there any sort, I know that you could express remorse without having to speak English, but did he know what he was doing?
So I'm led to believe so, because when Highway Patrol was finally able to apprehend him, I think he traveled maybe 4 or 5 miles down the interstate before there was a crossover where he then crossed over into the correct southbound lanes. And that's when 2 Missouri State Highway Patrol troopers stopped him.
So he was actually apprehended on the correct side of the road?
Yes, that's right. And I will point out, there was a citizen, the same citizen who filmed the entire incident, stopped and assisted law enforcement to make sure that they saw this video. He's turned that information over to them. And so we're really thankful that he did that. That's really meaningful and helpful.
Mike, do we know how he got on the wrong side of the road? Do they have the beginning of this process? Like, how do you make
I'm certain based on how well I know our partners with Missouri State Highway Patrol, I am certain that they are reaching out with federal partners to see if there's any GPS locations or if there's any information regarding where they could have potentially been coming from based on their paperwork that had to do with whatever they were delivering. They were coming from Minnesota down to Mississippi, assuming that that's not fraudulent paperwork. I don't know that we can make that assumption anymore based on what we're starting to learn about this company coming out of Minnesota.
Are we safe on Missouri roads, Illinois roads? The people listening right now in the bi-state region, are we safe?
How could I possibly say yes? I mean, look, whether or not this particular person was an illegal immigrant or not, I mean, that's one discussion, but we do have instances nationwide where we have drivers who cannot speak the English language, who somehow have a CDL and are continuing to drive, and there's no repercussions up until the point someone's killed or law enforcement is forced to have action. So how could I possibly say that our roadways could be safe?
Gosh, Mike, I cover a lot of news, but this is actually nauseating to me to talk about right now. It's just absolutely terrifying. Before we let you go, you understand the legal system. You understand how your hands are tied here and understand what's at stake. Do you have any suggestions, requests, or policies that need to be implemented yesterday, things that could actually be done to stop this right now so that we don't have any more of these issues?
Sure. I mean, obviously, it seems to me that it would be a very easy fix for Secretary Duffy, along with federal partners, to push for some type of nationwide litigation that would require the same types of background checks, the same types of proof of identification, in order for everyone to be eligible for a CDL. And that's going to deal with federal issues that have interstate commerce involved. And so normally licensing issues are left up to the states, but guess what, Annie? Voting issues are left up to the states, and we're starting to see fraudulent activity there as well. And so, I recognize people are trying really hard to make sure that we have some level of consistency, so that we have safety, so that we don't have as much fraud as we have, and that we're able to, continue to live our lives as Americans and be safe and have faith in our systems.
What about also dismantling any company that would hire somebody? Like, you hire somebody like this and you put them on the road, the whole thing comes down. Like, they should be held liable for putting drivers on the road that are putting Americans in danger.
I will say this, my background, my entire career for 20 years has been in criminal law. It is my opinion that there are civil remedies available to people who are aggrieved, but normally that's somebody who's going to be injured in an accident. But I do recognize that there probably are avenues that could be explored in order to shut down these types of businesses, because for a long time, there were companies who were employing people who weren't legally here, and they were able to shut those businesses down. And those were some actions that were taken statewide, but I could certainly see a scenario where that could be done nationwide as well.
Well, Mike Wood, if anything develops, please reach out to me, reach out to Brad, and we'd love to have you back because this is something that is very local now for our audience, and we want to be at the forefront of it.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get him in custody, and then I'll certainly let you guys know, and that'd be a good response.
Please do. Thank you for what you do, Mike Wood. Thanks for the
Thank
time
you.
today. Take care. How's that make you feel, Ryan?
Well, get this. Right when you asked him, are we safe? Are we safe on the roads? Which is ultimately the big question. We get a text that comes in on the text line saying, just saw a tractor trailer run through a four-way stop, did not stop fully on Missouri Highway 79 going south just now. So that's one. And another person, of course, we have a lot of truck drivers who listen, and we love it and thank you. And this person says, as a Class A CDL holder, this upsets me. I spent $5,000 and 3 weeks of school to get mine. And it's just like with illegals versus legals. I was over the road and have been going for years. And then people who come can't even speak English. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an offense to everybody who's working their tails off to keep America running because it runs through the trucking industry. And we do love our truckers. Last time we had a trucker conversation, our text line went boom. Everybody, hi, truckers, we love you. If you want to text us your thoughts, 314-241-9797. Ryan will keep up. He can. But, I mean, it makes me ill. Because we all know what it's like to be driving down the road, especially if you're on a long road trip and you're just you're running through all of these scenarios in your head of this could happen and that could happen. And you're just trying to protect your family to imagine that scenario of coming over the hill, like he said there, and a truck is driving straight at you.
Yeah, I don't want to make this personal, but I think you mentioned it on the air yesterday. I just lost a very, very good friend to somebody driving a very big truck.
Hold on to that thought. Let's talk about it when we come back.
Okay.
All right. Stick around. More Annie Fry Show in a minute.
With you. The voices you trust, Mark Cox, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors, St. Louis roofing, siding, and gutter systems. We'll take care of you and your home. We're #1 in the Ladue, Kirkwood, and Webster area. James Hardy certified. Visit triton.stl.com to be connected with a James Hardy expert and receive a free estimate. Triton-STL.com or call 314-717-1159. That's 314-717-1159. Triton Exteriors, St. Louis #1 James Hardy specialists.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Doesn't it feel like you hear all the time from retired friends and family, I wish someone had told me this before I retired? Or why didn't anybody tell me this? Why is this not a class? Well, that's exactly why Financial and Tax Architects was founded. FTA keeps hardworking families in St. Louis make sense of retirement. They show them how to keep more of what they've earned and how to make it last. That way you can get some sleep at night. You don't have to second guess every expense leading up to retirement. You understand what's going on. Their Retirement Planning 101 class is a practical, no-cost course. They teach it at local colleges. It's just one night. You learn strategies to reduce taxes, plan your income, make confident decisions about Social Security and taxes and inflation. And FTA focuses on education. They try to change the way you retire. Call 888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com to register.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us. Just got done speaking with the Lincoln County, Missouri prosecuting attorney who is leading the prosecutions of what they could get out of that situation with that truck driver driving the wrong way, Highway 61. And, man, that's just freaking me out. The existence of it is terrifying. Yesterday we talked about it a little bit, Ryan. I had asked you if you were comfortable with me sharing the GoFundMe for your friend who passed away a week ago?
Yeah, a little over a week.
You were out yesterday to attend that funeral, and I want everyone listening right now to know that we shared the GoFundMe for this family on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. It's pinned to the top. So I'm going to let Ryan talk a little bit about it here now, but if you feel the need to support this family, I certainly did. I hope you do as well. You can go to the Annie Fry Show Facebook page to find the GoFundMe.
Yeah, she was just about to turn 36. Wonderful, amazing, amazing person. I mean, if you're listening to this, you're probably like, well, that's what they always say. But when it's your good friend, the kind of person that lights up a room, and not because they're trying to be entertaining, just because they were full of light. Great family, 4 boys between the ages of 6 and 14 that now don't have a mom. And I'm not blaming anybody here, but as far as we understand it, the point that tying to the previous interview there is that these trucks are dangerous. And I'm not trying to find out whether this person was. There's a lot of investigation that's going to go into this. It doesn't matter.
But the point, correlating to the story, if you're going to be driving a truck like this jack wagon was up Highway 61, you're driving a weapon.
You potentially are.
If you're driving one of those trucks, it requires the understanding, respect, and responsibility to know how to do it.
And that's why they have CDLs. That's why they have all of these rules, which, look, you can not like them or like them, but they're there for a reason. And if you have them, why would you purposely circumvent your own laws, which were made for safety? These are very, very dangerous machines if you don't know what you're doing. And obviously that's hitting home with us right now because we just
there's no fault or
I don't know.
We can't speak to that.
I don't know the answer to that, and I will know the answer to that probably within a couple weeks, but now is not the time for me to text my buddy and go, "Hey, how did this happen?" We're just there.
But that's
for
not the
support
point
right now.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is that even when it's an accident, the truck wins.
Always.
So if you're one of these people, you can't read English. How is your job to drive a weapon if you can't read English? This is so obvious. This is going to be 100-0 issue for Americans. This is one of those issues where the Trump administration and Secretary Duffy need to go 100% in to ensure that what was taking place in Missouri, that they go, there is no room for grace and mercy in this issue.
This is national crime, too, because by its definition, it's interstate crime.
Yes.
You don't just drive, mostly for the fact, you don't just drive within the state.
This guy's from Minnesota going to Mississippi.
Exactly. So this is a federal issue, and the Trump administration has every right to look into this.
And they will. You know that the Secretary of Transportation is going to be at the forefront of this issue, and it really goes to what we saw the president say. J.D. Vance, vice president, is going to be in charge of investigating and seeking out that fraud that's taking place across the country, starting with Minnesota. This has got to be included in it. Back in a minute. Don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. A text or a phone call will connect you to Stewie there. Now, the Bagel Loan, that's what you're looking for. A new mortgage on the home purchase that you're looking to make. You can talk to the lender that is recommended to you. I would recommend checking out as many different options as you have, but you do not want to leave Stewie out of the opportunity to earn your business. Do you know how much closing costs ends up coming to, the total that it ends up coming to when you go to finish that purchase? Thousands of dollars? Not with Stewie. They don't exist. He doesn't roll them into the loan. He doesn't tuck them away for another time or a rainy day. He takes care of them for you. So you can call or text 314-324-4440. It's a direct line to Stewie. And you can ask him how a bagel loan can help you on your home purchase. Also, you can ask him if you're looking to do a refinance, maybe even a cash out refinance on your home to tap into some of that growing equity. Stewie's going to help you with it. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
If you're the victim of a car accident or suffered a work injury in St. Louis, you want attorneys who live here and work here to handle your case. You want someone who knows St. Louis and is about St. Louis. You want Kaufman Townsley. Call 314-777-7777.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norm Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Excellent weather on this Friday afternoon. 69 for the high, well short of the record of 86. Tonight, clear skies. Nice evening for this time of year, 43 for the low. The weekend, Saturday, sunny and nice, 65. Sunday, clouds dominate with a mix of light rain and sloppy wet snow. It's colder Friday with a high of 42. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Asking the hard questions. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
I think today was a historic day for transparency in the United States of America.
Arizona Congresswoman Yasemin Ansari as former President Bill Clinton testifies in the House Oversight Committee's Jeffrey Epstein probe.
And ultimately, this demonstrates that nobody is above the law. And my top concern at this moment is the ongoing White House cover-up.
The Trump administration has denied any cover-up, but Democrats accuse the Justice Department of withholding Epstein files on allegations against President Trump. Former President Clinton telling the panel today he did nothing wrong and had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committing.
And the president went on to say that the president, Trump, has never said anything to me to make me think he was involved. And he met with Epstein.
Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says the depositions of both Bill and Hillary Clinton will be made public. Democrats demanding President Trump be called to testify. The president telling reporters today he doesn't like seeing Clinton deposed without saying whether he thinks it sets a precedent for presidents. The president is not happy with Iran after a third round of nuclear talks.
President Trump says so far Iran is not willing to give the U.S. the deal he needs.
We're not exactly happy with the way they negotiated. They cannot have nuclear weapons.
Speaking with reporters near Marine One, the president says a final decision on military strikes has not been decided.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Iran says it has the right to enrich uranium for civilian purposes. Non-essential U.S. embassy staff in Israel are being told now's the time to go if they want to leave. Secretary of State Rubio will travel to Israel Monday for meetings on Iran and Gaza. The president's comments coming as he was heading to Texas, where he has just arrived to focus on his economic agenda. America is listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Save 15% off blown-in attic insulation and get a free year of HVAC maintenance. Proper insulation reduces energy costs and strain on your HVAC system and makes your home more comfortable. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's Friday. It's very good that it's Friday.
Doesn't feel like Friday, does it?
It was like kind of a fast week.
Something like that.
I felt like it.
Yeah, well, this is the end of February, too.
Almost Christmas.
No.
I say that every year, and then all of a sudden you guys are like, it's Christmas. And I'm like, I've been telling you.
Well, yeah, okay.
What are you most looking for? Like, February is wrapping up. My son, which you guys got to overhear part of that conversation, he's off today. They had some sort of like teacher conference thing at school, so he had the day off. And now that he's 16, imagine being this 16-year-old boy. You got a car and some freedom, and you got your day off, and nobody else is at home with you. So it's just you and the open road and the illegal drivers. Shoot.
No, rewind.
It's just you and the open road and your buddies, and they're like, hey, let's go golfing in the morning. So my son took my daughter to school and then went and met his buddies and golfed, got done, and then he's got baseball practice later. And he's on the phone. He's like, what are we doing tonight? So I said, we've got a nephew's got a basketball game. We haven't seen him play, so we might go try to see him play. But he goes like, we got to do something outside. I'm like, you've been golfing and you're going to baseball practice. How much more outside do you need? And he's thinking more.
That's cool. I would say this time of year, when it starts to get nice.
Isn't it supposed to be like 70, 71 right now?
It's 70, right? It's over 70 right now.
Maybe snow soon, too.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
And like right Monday, probably snow day.
Yeah.
Maybe. It says right now, St. Louis, Missouri, AccuWeather, sorry, Dave Murray, 73 degrees, feels like 77.
Was the question, what is 16-year-old Ryan doing with a free day like this? Because that's the way I interpreted that question.
No, the question was, it's the end of February, and you got a weekend coming up, and the weather's nice. Like, to me, Christmas, leading into Christmas time, super exciting. Love the holiday Christmas spirit. Love all the Christmas things. But I have determined that the happiest season of life for me is the time right before it starts to get warm, because I'm just so excited for it to get warm. I'm more excited for heat than I am for any other time. You go into fall and you're watching football and you're making chili and you're opening the windows but sitting next to the fireplace and cuddling up under a blanket. All of those things. Crispy leaves, little fire that you can smell coming in through the open windows. The curtains are in the breeze. Love it. But not as much as I love spring. And if you ask my husband this, he would tell you this. What's Annie's favorite thing about spring? It's when you're driving on the highway with the illegal drivers and there's been like maybe a rain or wetness, and all of the bare trees are like black because of the wet rain or whatever. But the red buds have started to bloom, and they're this bright spring purple. And the trees have that glow of green on them, but it's just the buds. You don't see leaves yet. That electric green and that bright, bright purple on the black of the trees, that is like, Annie, it's about to get warm outside. And I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Can't wait. 86 degrees, perfect temperature.
Well, there is a moment every spring where I have that same realization, but it's not like yours. It's when
Is this around food?
No.
Okay.
It's not even funny.
Oh.
It's when I walk outside. I'm just delivering it in a really overdramatic.
I know. I was like, there's no way this is serious.
It is, though.
Don't bait me into something being leading in your serious tone, because I know you're going to make it funny, but then make it serious, and then I look like a jerk.
I am going to make it serious. It's just in a weird way. I walk outside, Annie, and it's just starting to get nice. And I realized for the first time that lawn that I've walked past 100 times in the last 100 days
needs to be cut.
No, that would be funny. This is not funny. It has a brighter green to it.
Oh, yeah.
A spring green.
Yes.
It's
And
like a new life.
It happens overnight. One night, you never know when it's going to be, but then you go out and all of a sudden, pop,
You're
there
like,
it is.
Oh, there it be.
Yep.
I really appreciate, I don't know, whatever. What's the calendar that we're on? What do you call the calendar?
Gregorian
calendar? Sure. If you're full of crap, I don't know.
It's up to you to find out.
I'm not even gonna.
Okay.
I'm sinking or swimming with this sucker. I like that Lent is always in the time of year where everything is the grayest and the deadest looking. The grass is brown. It's kind of like what you're talking about.
It's like the beginning of a Moody Blues song.
You're moving through the season of Lent. I've heard more people talking about giving stuff up for Lent this year than I've ever heard that before. And, we have Lenten services every week at church on Wednesday nights, and we follow a Lenten schedule in the Lutheran Church. Holy Week, the week before Easter, and Maundy Thursday, and Good Friday, and then some people do a vigil on Saturday, and then, of course, Easter Sunday worship. But I love that Easter is just hand in hand with spring. Like, I know that Jesus didn't rise during spring. Well, I don't know that he didn't, but I don't know that he did. But it works. And so if I'm going through the Lenten season and, there's an understanding of penance and sin and brokenness, but with a hope of something coming in the future, the seasons just usher you right into it. And when that life starts to peak in the trees that you drive by, I was thinking about this on the way in today because the trees were, I don't know, I like trees. The trees were dark the way I was kind of describing them, but the sky was pretty blue. So they kind of just had a stark contrast. But on my way in from Illinois, there's an eagle's nest on 5570 on the south side of 5570, just a little bit coming westbound, just a little bit before the landfill. Do you know this? Do you take 5570 or 64?
I do, but I didn't know there's a nest there.
Heck yeah,
I've
there's a nest.
seen an eagle there, though.
Well, the eagle, there's two.
Oh, okay.
And they will soar, as eagles are apt to do, but I have seen them in the nest. I've seen their two little heads poking up, and it was just a cool freaking thing. But you can, I was looking at the trees on the way in today thinking, like, it's going to be time. And I always say this to my kids, too, going into fall. Fall's beautiful, and you're seeing all the colors, and it's just like this whole different kind of, it's such a transition. And I said, it's always sad to me that I'll be taking in the fall colors, taking them in, loving them, appreciating them. And then one day I'll drive home and I'll be like, the leaves are gone. Like, it's all there. And then you look and you're like, they're gone. Well, it takes like a good rain or a stiff wind to take all the last leaves off. But it's like they're there and then they're not. And then you're like, okay, well, I guess we got to deal with that for a while. But now we're in the end of February time where I'm looking at these trees and I'm just thinking, I'm like, I know it's going to happen in the next 5 weeks. Maybe less, depending on how the weather is. But when they leaf out, I'm not going to be able to see the eagles. So I was like, there's still time right now while the trees are barren and you still have the opportunity to look at this. It's just like there's always an opportunity to see something if you look for it. And if you, every day I walk in and I'm like, hi, eagles.
That's cool.
I should name them.
Yeah, you should.
What should I name them?
Barry and Levon.
Are they in the Eagles?
No.
That would have been funnier.
That would have been a better joke.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, Don Henley and Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry.
There you go.
There you go. I need them to be male and female. I asked my husband this on the way into work because I've seen two of them in there, and I thought it was so cool that I could see their heads poking out together in the nest because you wouldn't normally notice them unless you. Do you remember when we were growing up? Like eagle watching up the river road was like a huge deal because they would come here for a moment in time, and you go spend hours there, and you might see an eagle. Now they're all over the place. The population.
Return of America, baby.
Heck yeah! Sorry. I have an even better eagle story. I don't know if I've ever said this on the air, but I'll tell it here in a second. But I asked my husband about eagles, and I said, do they mate for life? And he said he thinks they do. I haven't Googled it since then, but he thinks they mate for life. And I said, so if you see two eagles sitting in a nest, is that like mommy eagle and daddy eagle? And he said he thinks it is.
So like us.
Not us.
Not me and you. I mean people.
Let's clarify. Oh, you meant Brad.
Not me and Brad either.
You guys are coming up on your anniversary here.
Yeah, we are.
My eagle story. You guys know this eagle story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good story.
Bear with me, folks.
Eagle with you.
I should find the video of this because I took video proof. It was January 21st, 2024.
What was the sky?
I was in America. In Epcot. in the back of the World Showcase. We were eating some Joffrey's donuts. And I think some of us might have been drinking some moonshine. We're sitting there. It's cold. It's frigid cold in Epcot, Florida. How rude. And the sky is clear blue. It's crystal clear. You can see no clouds, just absolutely stunningly blue. And I'm sitting there in America in Epcot on January 21st, 2024. And I look up, and there is an eagle soaring over America in Epcot at Disney World.
In America.
In America. And that was 1 year before Donald Trump was inaugurated to be the president of the United States once again. And I said, sitting in Epcot, to my husband, I go, that's an eagle. And I'm like, are there eagles in Florida? Like, does Florida have eagles? They have tons of eagles. I Googled it. Ryan says no. The story is better if this is the only eagle. It's like the what was the bird that comes back to the ark?
Dodo?
No, that one I don't think got off the ark or on the ark. It's not a dove, is it? Does Noah send off?
Yeah, it's a dove.
I don't think it is.
It's a dove.
Regardless, I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's an eagle. I'm like, does Florida even have eagles? So I Googled it because it would have been so much cooler if it was like, no.
Yeah.
But there was one. They do have eagles. But I said to my husband, I go, Donald Trump's going to be the president of the United States 1 year from today. Clock it. And then he was. And I think that was a sign. I was down. Oh, man. And I remember seeing that and thinking that. And like, I can't tell anybody the story. I can't tell the people on the show because they're going to be just mad at me that I was at Disney World. But it was when I knew we were going to see Donald Trump return. It was 1 year to the date from when he was inaugurated. And I knew it then.
What would have been amazing is if the eagle swooped down.
And ate my donut?
Ate your donut.
Ate my donut?
Drank your moonshine. Was all goofy. Flew into the Hall of Presidents and landed on Trump's shoulder.
And goes,
1 year!
Like a parrot. That's not even believable,
1 year
Ryan.
From now.
With a turkey leg and one talon. A turkey leg. Oh, they sell those there.
E pluribus unum.
Yeah. You got a bald eagle, a turkey leg, and a funnel cake. What's more American than that? Ethan Sports Local next. Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair, 314-271-9900. Give them a call. I want to talk to you about polyurethane foam injecting under your concrete, raising it out. It's a system called polyjacking, and this is the way to get your sidewalks, your walkways, your patios, your pool decks, to get them spring and summer ready. You need to have them leveled out so you stop stubbing your toe or worse, tripping and falling. If you got mom and dad's house and you know that this is an issue there, maybe at church and you're in charge of trying to find a solution. Well, I've got one for you. It's calling Matt Hayes and his great team to take care of this issue. He can do it in a day, and he's got a 5-year warranty to back it up. 314-271-9900 is the number to call. They solve a whole bunch of different foundation repair concerns that you might have. So when you visit their website, you can learn more about them, learn about their expertise, the years and decades of experience they have in problems exactly like this. Just give them a call at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meyer Grocery, or Wegmans.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Doobie doobies, doobers and doobies. I hate that one.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's stupid.
You said it.
You know why it's stupid?
Because you said it?
I'm mocking you.
Ryan, you should have heard him yesterday. He was all like happy and chipper. And then you get back and he's like, this is stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, because yesterday's was like semi-genuine. I don't remember what it was. They all run together. But it wasn't...
it was the alliteration one.
Sports and local, what do you got for us today,
Half of
Ethan?
them are alliteration. Sports and local, the Blues, back at it.
Hat trick.
And, I'm not very happy with them right now.
This is not the result that you wanted.
They won. Not very appreciative of
What
that.
did you want to happen?
I want them to lose every game the rest of the year.
He wants the draft
I want the
pick.
number one pick. I want the number one.
They could lose
freaking
every
pick.
game and not get the number one pick. Says you,
Correct.
because it's a lottery.
But their chances are better with every single loss. So I'm pulling for the Blues to lose. But
I
that's
think
not what they did last night.
After last night, they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
Okay, all right. We don't need that energy
Shared the
here.
money puck graphic with Ethan, and you couldn't even see the
What is
Blues
the score?
chances.
5-1 last night. They defeated the Seattle Kraken. Dylan Holloway was the most notable performer last night for the Blues. Activated off the injured reserve before the game. Had a hat trick. Scored his final goal with just seconds remaining in the game on an empty netter.
You ever see any of you seen a hat trick in person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I have as well. I actually saw one in the playoffs last year, I believe.
I've seen. How many have you seen, Brad?
I've seen two. One for the Blues and
Let me
one
guess,
for the
you've
other
seen
team.
three.
I've seen three.
Okay. You got the hat trick of hat tricks then.
I guess I do. Guess people should throw hats at me wherever I go.
Give me your hat. I'll throw it at you.
I want new hats, not this one.
Joel Hofer, 23 of 24 last night in net. Jordan Kyrou was also activated off of the injured reserve for the Blues. Cam Fowler appeared in his 1100th game, becoming the 10th active
Sorry, I just found the Eagle
defenseman
video.
in the NHL to achieve the mark. So that's good for Mr. Fowler. The Blues host the New Jersey Devils on Saturday night. Jack Hughes will be in town. The
Yeah,
Olympic hero
Jack
for
Hughes is
Team
going to be in town.
Well, we know who
USA.
Ethan's going to be cheering for.
Yeah, Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes hat trick.
Well, the Devils are not in a good spot either. They've lost 2 straight, so it's going to be who can perform worse on Saturday night at the Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis. Other recent news for the St. Louis Blues, Doug Armstrong, the president of hockey operations for the Blues, announced yesterday that the team has assigned forward Matthew Joseph to its AHL affiliate, the Springfield Thunderbirds. He cleared waivers. They signed him last year to a 2-year deal. This year, 11 points. It's been a relatively disappointing season for Joseph, who was on the third line most of the season, but they are mixing things up amidst the struggles, and this has to do in large part, like I said, with a couple of healthy guys, Kyrou and Holloway, coming off of the injured reserve. So someone had to lose their spot, so it's Matthew Joseph in this case.
Would you say that hockey is America's sport now?
No.
Hell yeah, it is.
Darn right it is.
I would not.
I said darn, not hell.
No, you
like
did.
Annie
You
did.
just said hell.
I think
right
it's inappropriate
after,
to say hell on the radio.
You said it twice now. Big news for the St. Louis Cardinals. They have recently announced their new class of nominees for the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Have you guys heard who the nominees are?
Red
Tell
Shangies.
us.
I will gladly tell you guys. George Hendrick, Brian Jordan, Albert Pujols, and Yadier Molina are all eligible to enter into the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
Think they have a shot?
I don't know.
Committee is going to be pretty persnickety when it comes to Pujols.
You know, if they had a Ryan Wiggins on the committee.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I don't know about that George Hendrick guy.
Seems like the direction we're going here doesn't have anything to do with Ron Gant, as I was suggesting it should.
Deep cut.
The fan vote is open now and will remain open through April 17th. Traditionally, how it's worked is one of the 3 that gets voted in every single year is voted in by the fans, and then there's usually one in organization. There's, I guess, a couple in organization. One is selected, I think, by the owners. It's I'm not super clear on how all 3 of them get in, but the fans are responsible for one getting in every single year. And a lot of people immediately, when seeing the press release for this, were like, man, they're really going to only put one in this year, and they're going to wait until next year. But there was a little bit of a caveat in the press release. They said they basically, when they specified that there would be a player getting voted in by the fans, they put in parentheses an S behind player, arguing that they would basically bend the rules this year for Yachty and Albert to get in. So a lot of people thinking that both Yachty and Albert will go into the Cardinals Hall of Fame assuming that they win this vote, which, like you said, Annie, who knows if they have a shot or not.
I'm going to have to see some of the stats.
Me too. And I'm still really concerned about the mail-in vote coming at 3 a.m. for Biden.
Yeah,
For
remember,
the Cardinals Hall of Fame?
Yes.
It's who counts the votes that matters.
Interesting.
It's true.
So the ceremony will be held on September 12th, my birthday. I think that a great present would be both of them going in together. Here's a question for you guys. Should Yadier Molina and or Albert Pujols get Stan Musial size statues outside of Busch Stadium?
Yes.
Both of them?
100%.
Yes.
They are what Stan Musial is to this. Stan Musial is the man, but recognized nationally. Like, people would call him Stan the Man Musial. He has a national respect and understanding for what he contributed to the game. It's not just the Cardinals. But Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina both equally changed the game and the entirety of the time that they were here with us. The whole game was changed because of those players individually, and they will be talked about the exact same way, if not even more, than Stan Musial will in Cardinals history, because it's an entirely different generation. Like, to suggest that Stan Musial is on a different platform, like literally a different height platform than the other two, I think would be kind of generational get off my lawn to say no.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's other people. I love Adam Wainwright. He is our family's favorite player in the time that we've been watching Cardinals baseball together as a family. But Yadier Molina changed the way people played the game when they played against him because he was that good as a catcher. And Albert Pujols, come on, he was El Hombre when he was here, so he's been given that status in St. Louis, but recognized like that across baseball for quite some time. Like, if you're telling me that those two individuals, both of them, are not up to that status, nobody ever will be. You're saying that nobody ever will achieve that again for Cardinals baseball.
Yeah, I mean, Albert Pujols is one of only a handful of players that has 700 home runs in their career.
But Stan the Man, Yachty, Adam Wainwright all played their whole careers here. Albert didn't.
So?
That's the only knock. That's the only argument against, because everything
but Adam Wainwright's not in this conversation.
Fine,
but Yachty, I could see how you could say that, but Albert Pujols is the most consequential Cardinals player of a lifetime.
I agree. I'm just saying, if you had to make an argument, that's the one you'd make.
That's a good point. Just make Albert Pujols like 2 inches shorter than Yachty.
We'll have to wait and see how exactly they go about it.
Make it so Yachty's like looking down on him.
Yeah. We're solving all the world's problems here on the Annie Fry Show.
Yeah. A lot of comments coming in on this. I don't want to get into it because we'll do the rest of the show that way. Next question, ask us anything. You can text us your questions, 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Text us. You can also message on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Back in a minute.
IRS, they tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome to Radio Rental. The scariest stories you've ever heard in your life. All told by real people. And off we go.
This wasn't a human being that I saw. There's something here in this house. Something not of this world.
There was a woman moving through the hall. I stepped back and I was completely alone.
Radio Rental is available now. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesidearty.com today to start your dream renovation.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
The YouTube live chat poll question of the day is, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? Is it that he killed himself, that he was murdered, or he's alive? I'm going to pull up 2 comments here from our YouTube live chat stream. The first is Dirk saying, I chose that he did kill himself. I haven't seen any solid evidence to the contrary. Patrick says he's alive, extracted by Mossad. Now, these are the conversations that America's having right now, so we are having them right here and asking you what your opinion is on this question. Let us know. We'll give the results before the end of the show until Mark Reardon takes over from his second fish fry here during Lent. It is 2:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From the gateway city to the front lines of freedom. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
My first question for you gents is, were you ever part of the Scouts? We talked a little bit earlier on the show in your Be or Not the Be segment about Pete Hegseth has commented about the Scouts need to get right. Did you ever do Boy Scouts?
I'm going to put the Scouts into the category of things my parents tried to get me to do that I had no interest in.
So you did it?
I did not. No, they tried to get me to like go and do stuff with other kids that were Scouts. But I was like, I don't really want to, so I never did. Never did anything.
Brad? Scouts?
Yeah, I was a Cub Scout for 1 year, and then I would have been Weeblos, but I was like, I'm not really interested in keep going.
Why not?
Just wasn't for me.
Seems
weird
like your kind of thing.
I would have thought you'd have been a good Boy Scout. Ryan, I was guaranteed. No.
Absolutely not.
I did
hate grass.
When I was younger, the thing that I didn't like was
Weed?
the overnight camping and stuff like that. I still am not a camper.
I feel like you would have been a great Boy Scout. I agree.
But like the other stuff,
You were
you know, the
born to be a Boy
shooting
Scout.
arrows, the soap carving, you know, all that stuff. I had a blast doing that, but the fear of camping out overnight was not.
Ethan, you do Scouts?
No, I did not. As far as the Scouts go, the only interest I had in any of it was the Girl Scout cookies. I mean, like, that's quite literally it.
Being
Both
a
of
Girl
my-
Scout? You could
both
probably
of-
do that now.
I know I could. My sisters were both Girl Scouts, and man, yeah.
What was your go-to cookie?
Oh, the tagalongs.
Is that the peanut butter and chocolate?
Yes. They're so good.
I was a
Thin
Girl
Mints.
Scout.
Can't go wrong with a Thin Mint.
And I was always 1 or 2 in cookie sales.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then come to find out,
What'd you get? Did you get a prize?
nothing.
What?
Really? Probably some dumb patch. I'm not really high on the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts have a like handshake partnership with Planned Parenthood, and listen. I know a lot of you out there have Girl Scouts, and it's a great experience. And you're like, Annie, we've never gone to Planned Parenthood. Good, okay, you do you, parent the way you want. But I just cannot get behind the direction that they've taken it, and like those cookie sales. What does a box of cookies cost these days?
I'm gonna guess $6.
Tell us in the chat. Somebody out there knows.
That's my guess.
I love Thin Mints. Thin Mints out of the freezer.
Dozy Does?
Delicious. Which ones are those?
Those are the peanut butter ones. Just peanut butter.
Those are pretty good.
I don't
Samoas?
know.
The
Samoas,
coconuts?
yes. And they were Samoas when I sold them, and then I think they like thought that was racist or something. But I think they're back to it now, right?
Oh yeah.
Caramel, coconut, chocolate cookie.
good.
Delicious.
That's a good cookie.
Those are probably my favorite, but the Thin Mints are good and the shortbread ones.
We can't call those cookies
Trefoils.
Samoas anymore. We have to call them Puerto Ricanians.
That probably is right.
Ricanians?
Next question, Ryan.
What is your...
Jackie just said she paid $6 for a box of Thin Mints.
My favorite cookies are Chewy Chips Ahoy.
Well, I'll sell you a package for $6.
Done. Right now, I'll take anything. I'm really hungry.
I'll take it.
I'm a little low on sugar. What is
Almost the
your
weekend.
earliest memory or one of the earliest memories that you can still recall?
I know that I remember my great-grandmother, my mom's dad's mom, died in 1986. And I don't remember what month she died. But I was born in April 1984. And I remember being at her house, and I remember her toy box, and I remember she had, the white rectangle base, yellow thing, and you stacked up rings, and it was colors.
Yeah. Every kid had one of those.
Right. And I would have been 2, give or take, depending on when she passed away. I remember the carpet, super 80s carpet, maybe actually 70s carpet, probably. The carpet, the toy box, the toy, playing with it. I remember it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have seen a picture of that or anything. I think that's my earliest memory.
Mine is similar, and I don't know which one was first. It was either playing at my grandpa's feet, because he died when I was 3, and so I would have been at least less than 3, playing at his feet and just knowing that they were talking above me and just playing.
Yeah.
Or it was the house that we lived in until I was just about 3. My room. I remember my bedroom.
Yeah.
And thinking at the time, this room is so massive.
Because you were a teeny.
And then, and I go back and I see that house now because it was in Granite City. And I'm like, that is one of the smallest houses I've ever seen. There's no way my room was big.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how when you think about those super early childhood memories that it's kind of I'm thinking of a family location where I knew I was with certain people doing something very simple, and yours is kind of the same. What about you guys?
For me, it was at my parents' apartment. They had an apartment before they moved into the mobile home that I grew up in before we moved to where they are currently located now. I remember laying on the ground, kind of like looking to my, I guess what would be my left, and seeing what I interpret was my mom doing dishes.
I thought you were going to say doing the Irish jig.
No. She was in the kitchen doing dishes, and I'm all I know is I was young enough that I couldn't walk yet.
Wow.
Maybe not even crawl.
Gee whiz.
Wow, that is early.
But it's just a snippet of a memory.
I almost, when people say that kind of stuff, don't believe it, because it just, I struggle to believe that people could remember stuff from that early in their lives.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff I've described is just me piecing it together afterwards, but I have the memory in my head.
It was very dark and warm, and all of a sudden
I was
a bright
surrounded
light.
by amniotic fluid. I wouldn't have called it that then.
Tears.
Ethan?
Cold.
It was very cold.
Somebody hit me.
Hit me. Holy cow. I believe I was probably 2 or 3. I was in our kitchen, and I was sitting on either my dad or my grandpa's lap, and I remember looking in the direction towards the fridge. There was someone standing in front of the fridge. That's all I remember. But I was probably 2 or 3, and I was wearing pajamas. I remember that too.
It's just, I think it's interesting that you have these memories and they're kind of connected to the people.
And they're not important. It's not any sort of event.
The people aren't important? Or?
I mean, no. Not the people.
Next question, Brad.
Yeah. So, Ethan, I know you're an NFL fan, but Ryan and Annie, I'm assuming you're kind of where I am, where it's like the NFL take it or leave it. Is there anything the NFL could do that would win you back to fandom?
Yeah, give us a team.
Yeah, if they put a team.
Do it.
I would say if they put 2 teams in St. Louis.
2?
I'd probably be
Yeah,
able to-
because we'd have a better odds of keeping at least one of them.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and kind of invest emotionally in the fact that we might have one that stayed.
I was reading something about a proposal, and gosh, I'm going to butcher all this up, but a 3-way trade. Whoever owns the Chargers, who owns the Chargers?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. The Chargers, and then who owns the Florida team? Not the
Jacksonville Jaguars?
The Jaguars, yes.
That's
Con.
Sadiq Khan.
So those 2, and then there's a possibility of 2 expansion teams, correct?
That's what they've been saying for a long time.
Gosh, I wish I could remember the logistics of it because I read it and I'm like, oh, that kind of seems interesting. But I think, does Khan want to own a team in London or something?
I have
or maybe
zero
he
idea.
wants. I think maybe he wanted. There was talk of potentially the Jaguars coming here at one point.
Yes, there was.
But the conversation was expansion teams, 2 teams. One of them would be overseas, and one of them would maybe be here. I think it was moving the Chargers to St. Louis, the Con team to Europe. I don't know. There was a 3-way tie where maybe St. Louis lands with a team with a more agreeable owner that would have an investment here or something.
There certainly has been.
I don't know.
There certainly
Sorry.
has been, like from a fan perspective here, people want the Chargers to come here because they aren't even the favorite team in their city. They don't have their own stadium.
Oh, wait. Kroenke owns the Chargers?
No, he owns the Rams.
Well, Ripper is saying he owns the Chargers and the Rams. He can't own
He doesn't
both.
own the
He owns
Chargers.
the stadium.
Dean Spanos owns the Chargers.
I can't remember how that. It was a triangular situation where expansion teams land teams outside of the country, but St.
Here's the
Louis
truth.
ends up here.
No, we're never getting a team back, or at least not in
this iteration.
Not in
of
Ryan
Goodell.
Wiggins' lifetime.
Well, he's got about, what, 10, 15?
That's why I said his specifically.
Next question. Ethan, you have one?
Nope.
Okay. Brad? No, you just asked one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask this question, and then we're gonna come back and answer it. The last time we were on, I asked a question, how would you handle somebody hitting on your spouse in front of you? When we come back, I want to know how you would handle being hit on in front of your spouse.
I look forward to hearing Ryan Wiggins' answer.
Yeah. Imagine that scenario. What would happen if you are knowingly being hit on and your spouse is sitting right there? And I also want to know what your spouses would do. So we'll get to that when we come back. If you want to send us some questions or reaction to the YouTube live chat poll, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself, he was murdered, or he's alive? 314-241-9797. You can text us at 314-241-9797. Love a good slow jam in the 2 o'clock hour on Friday. We'll be right back.
Stealing kisses.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's the next question on a Friday afternoon. Don't forget the Mark Reardon fish fries coming up. Now, last time I asked this question last year, and we gave people the wrong address. The wrong fish fry. So I'm going to ask Ethan,
Oh, God.
where is the fish fry?
It is in Cottleville.
I feel like that's the one we did wrong last time.
I'm working on
Do you know where?
I'm working
Oh,
on
we'll get back to it before we wrap. But if you want to go check out the Mark Reardon experience at the fish fry, we encourage you to go do that. You guys were talking about how good fish sounds. I disagree, but I
Knights
think
of Columbus
in
Cottleville.
Are you certain?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going based off of the script that Ryan sent me. So
That's sketch.
Let's ask
Well, don't
Ryan.
believe that.
Are you confident?
I
in your
am
scripts?
confident.
Okay.
The
KFC.
next question, ask us anything. That's how we always wrap up Friday afternoons before we hand it over to Mark Reardon. My question last week was, what would you do if somebody started hitting on your spouse in front of you? We went through that discussion. You can check the podcast if you want to go hear those responses. But this week, I want to know, what would you do if you were out and about and someone comes up and starts hitting on you and your spouse is there? And then the follow-up is, what does your spouse do in that moment? Ryan?
Oh, me first. Okay. Well, I can tell you exactly what I would do.
Hey, baby.
I would look at my wife and I would say, "You gonna take that?"
and what's Miss Wiggins going to do?
I think she might take it.
What do you
I
mean?
think she might just let it play out. I don't think she's garden territory.
I would bet a dinner that your wife would stand by and just be very amused.
Yeah, depending on what kind of hitting. I keep picturing we're at a restaurant and some beautiful woman just walks up to the booth for no reason.
In a bikini.
And it's just like, "Oh, hey.
Hey, Ryan.
I noticed you there.
Are you
Would
Ryan
you like
Wiggins?
to get with me? Maybe we could go out and we could..." I'm not going to get super graphic here, but that's what's in my head. And I don't really know another scenario where that would happen. So these are very, very...
You're not getting propositioned everywhere you go?
Tell you what.
Oh, God.
Now that you mention it.
7 minutes.
No.
7 minutes.
I was walking into a place called Ruler Foods.
Can
the
you all
other day.
feel the smug look on Ryan's
Ruler
face right now?
Foods.
And I was on the phone. And
With?
there was a woman in front of me that was also on the phone.
Who
She
were
looked
you
like
on the phone
Kim
with?
Kardashian. And I thought, first of all, what are you doing in Collinsville? Let us ugly people just be. Why are you here?
Shots fired at Collinsville.
But then I walk in.
I'm really surprised people aren't just throwing themselves at you. You're
Sounds like they were.
Devilish
at
good
Ruler
luck.
Foods.
You haven't heard the rest of the story.
Nobody is, because the show's almost over.
I walk in. I'm walking behind her. She's on the phone. She doesn't notice me. I'm not noticing her. We're not noticing each other at all.
It sounds super accurate.
This clerk is standing inside the door doing something, and when we walked in, she says, "Hello, welcome to Ruler Foods," as she's supposed to. And I said, "Hello," even though I was on the phone. The girl in front of me did not say hello, but was startled by the fact that there was a man behind her.
Going with it.
This isn't a story about you getting hit on. This is a story about you creeping people out.
No, not right now it is.
Ethan, you're
Wait
out and about.
Wait till you what happens. She turns around because she was startled, and then she looks at me in the eye, and then she looks back, and then she looks back at me again. And I was like,
Yeah, she's trying to determine whether or not to call the police.
yeah.
So you took that as she
Ryan.
noticed that you were a good-looking guy, so
Yeah.
she wanted to get another look at
She
you.
wanted to get another look.
How old was this woman?
She's probably 24.
Oh, my God. All right, things didn't happen for $8 billion. Ethan, you're out and about. The only thing true about that story is that Ryan shops at Ruler Foods. That's it.
And so does one of the Kardashian sisters.
Yeah, you just... Anyway. Ethan, you're out and about, and the lady finds you particularly interesting, spending a little extra time, doing a little flirting. Mrs. Hannaford is around. How are you handling the flirting?
Wait, so someone's flirting with me or someone's flirting with her?
No, with you.
Got it.
So what do you do when she's flirting with you?
I would.
Presuming it's a
I
she.
would just like, I'm married. Like, I feel like I would just kind of
What were
panic.
you just doing?
Sleep with you.
No. I love my wife.
He started moving his hips back and forth and going, I'm married.
That's not what
That
I
is what
did.
you did.
That's not what I was scooching back because I'm in a swivel chair.
No.
Don't
You
you
started
accuse
doing
me of things.
You started doing tiny hip
No,
thrusts.
I did not
You did.
Shakira in this place.
You did. You went like this.
Right. Oh, avert my eyes. Put it away. Put it back.
That's what you did
So,
when a
Ethan,
girl hit on you.
Ethan,
That's as true as Kim
You've-
Kardashian being at the Ruler Foods.
You've responded, Ethan.
24-year-old.
Your response is panic.
I feel like I would just immediately start looking at my wife, kind of similar to Ryan.
And
without
what does she
saying,
do?
That's what I don't know, because she's not a very confrontational person, but she also
punches her in the teeth.
See, that would be awesome. I don't think that would happen though.
Not my man.
Power punch.
Power punch.
Yeah. Hannah.
I think it's an more interesting conversation with you, Ethan, because we've all been married for so long and out of the game for so long. You're still kind of in it. Like, people could see you and easily assume that you're probably not locked up and committed.
I think we'd probably both look at each other like,
Is this
hey,
happening?
you gonna say something or am I gonna say something? I think she would probably give me the floor, and I think for her it would probably be just flashing the ring.
Yeah.
I imagine
he's mine
or something like that.
I like that. That's a good one.
Brad, what about you?
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens is I don't realize it at all. Like, I completely miss all the signs. I miss the flirting. My response
I gave her
is-
my phone number. She said she needed it.
my response is genuine, like trying to help her out or whatever tact she takes. It's
She
like,
said she couldn't afford dinner by herself, so I took her out.
I'm not even like
Just trying to be nice.
picking up on it. It's going to have to be pretty obvious.
He's just
for me.
ministering to her.
Yeah. Then what happens is afterwards Terry tells me, she's like, you realize she was hitting on you,
So
right?
she's not intervening.
No, I think she thinks it's funny that I'm missing the whole thing altogether. So,
Girl walks up to one of us and goes, man, I think that guy looks like he's not that wealthy and pretty tired. I think I'm going to go hit on him.
Are you afraid of yourself?
Yes.
this is like, could be me too.
Could be either one of us.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Best carnivore
Ethan?
fair food that you ever ate.
Next question.
For me, it's deep fried candy bars.
Carnivore?
I thought you said carnivore as
He
well.
did say carnivore. You said
hold on.
carnivore fair food.
Everything's deep
fine.
fried at the carnival.
I'm like, I ain't
That's
eating
such a
the
cheap
turkey leg.
answer.
Fine.
Deep
Corn
fried
dog.
candy.
We'll go full carnivore, corn dog.
Corn dog. It's not carnivore.
There's pretty much
that's
a
breaded.
corn dog and a turkey leg.
So
I don't know what you like about fairs and what you don't, because I
You have a
asked
pretty good idea of what I would and would not
food.
like. And I've bought you fair food before.
Yeah, you
This is
have.
true.
Yeah, and I ate it.
What was it, a deep fried
Dippin' Dot.
Snicker?
Oh my God. How does that even work?
All right, the YouTube live chat poll for today. What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? He killed himself. He was murdered. He's alive. What do you think, Ryan?
I think he was murdered.
Brad?
I think he killed himself.
Ethan?
I think he was also murdered.
I think he's alive.
What? Dun, dun, dun.
No, I think he was murdered.
Oh.
Do you have the results, Ethan?
223 votes.
Nope.
What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? 17% of people say that he is alive. 17%.
17. That's half of what you said.
The other 17% say that he killed himself. And the final 66% say that he was murdered.
66%. 223 is pretty good for a Friday afternoon. 66%. Two-thirds of you, if you can do the math there. Lovely two-thirds from Ryan Wiggins.
Great job.
Saying he was murdered. I'm actually surprised that that's the prevailing response there. Thanks for being with us today. You're going to meet out with Cottleville Knights of Columbus. Is that right?
Yeah.
Fish Fry. Mark Reardon is out there. Go visit them. Get some great fish and keep it right here on 97.1 FM Talk. The Mark Reardon Show at the Fish Fry. Next.